Chapter 822. Yang Feng pinched the God-Slayer white jade sword fragment, and his eyes shimmered with admiration. So this is an Empyrean-grade secret treasure. Unfortunately, it's just a fragment. Did you get this Empyrean-grade secret treasure fragment in this world? The god's eyes couldn't help but reply, yes. I got the God-Slayer white jade sword in this world. Transparent threads extended from the phantom ruler and pierced into the god's eyes, causing the god's eyes to fall into a muddle-headed state, hovering between real and illusory, unable to control his body. Yang Feng asked, what Empyrean-grade secret treasure fragments do the demon venerable and dragon emperor have? The god's eyes answered, they are all God-Slayer white jade sword fragments. This world was originally a grade 2 plane, slightly inferior to the 36 primary material planes. It has great evolutionary potential. An unknown warlock emperor rank powerhouse extracted the plane origin will of the entire plane to nourish the Empyrean-grade secret treasure God-Slayer white jade sword, which is why this world has become so strange. The human warlock emperors of the 8 warlock emperors have conquered countless planes. However, there are also some warlock emperor rank powerhouses hidden in the countless planes. They hide in the darkness of history, seal themselves and wait for the arrival of the eternal sovereign age. Only Eternals had eternal life, supreme and invincible power. Once someone promotes to an eternal sovereign, then countless planes in the universe will fall under their control. Even the invincible 8 warlock emperors can't withstand a single blow from an eternal sovereign. Yang Feng uttered flatly, as expected of a warlock emperor rank powerhouse, what a big move. He extracted the world origin force of a grade 2 plane to nourish his secret treasure. However, something must have happened to the warlock emperor rank powerhouse. Otherwise, you wouldn't have gotten this treasure. The god's eyes uttered, the God-Slayer white jade sword no longer has its owner's soul brand. Clearly its owner has died. Moreover, the time of this world has been distorted by the warlock emperor rank powerhouse. 10,000 years have passed in the outside world, but 10 million years have passed in this world. All the arrangements of the warlock emperor rank powerhouse were obliterated by time, which is how we obtained the God-Slayer white jade sword fragment. Holding the God-Slayer white jade sword, Yang Feng's eyes shimmered with regret. Unfortunately, it is not an Empyrean-grade secret treasure that I forged myself. Even if it is completely repaired, I can at most exert 70% of the power of an Empyrean-grade secret treasure. Every Emperor-grade secret treasure possessed spirituality. At the same time they possessed world-shaking might. Unless it was an Emperor-grade secret treasure that he had personally refined and left his mark on it from the very beginning, he would not be able to bring out the peerless power of that Emperor-grade secret treasure. Otherwise, even if it is another warlock emperor rank powerhouse with an Empyrean-grade secret treasure forged by their predecessors, they can at most exert 80% of the power of the Empyrean-grade secret treasure. Except for the Dawn Lord, the other 8 warlock emperors all have Empyrean-grade secret treasures they forged themselves, which are the embodiment of their flawless grade essence core. The human 7 warlock emperors with their exclusive Empyrean-grade secret treasures were invincible emperors who swept through the world. The corners of Yang Feng's mouth rose slightly. However, I don't have to bite off more than I can chew. As long as I can get the complete Empyrean-grade secret treasure God-Slayer white jade sword, I'll have another trump card. A complete Empyrean-grade secret treasure was enough to suppress a warlock dynasty. The reason why the Great Cloud Dynasty and the Western world's 3 dynasties are in a stalemate, and none of them can annex the other warlock dynasty, is that the 4 forces have Empyrean-grade secret treasures as their underlying strength. Once the 4 warlock dynasties go all out and sacrifice countless warlocks to stimulate the power of Empyrean-grade secret treasures, they can even slay warlock monarchs and seriously injure weaker Holy Spirit warlocks. Because of this, although the Zhongji plane is coveted by countless races, but it is still the world of human warlocks. On one hand, it is because of the deterrence of the core world's human warlock powerhouses. On the other hand, it is because the 4 warlock dynasties are indeed very powerful. The reason why the Bright Moon Province, one of the 36 greater provinces, was seized by Yang Feng is because the Great Cloud Dynasty has to suppress countless planes, and its powerhouses are widely distributed. Moreover, after the Great Cloud Dynasty wiped out the 10 great sects, there was a power vacuum in many places, and its strength was greatly weakened. Coupled with the rebellion of several great families, The Great Cloud Dynasty had no choice but to compromise with Yang Feng's undying mountain. Yang Feng's eyes shimmered with enigmatic light, and he asked curiously, "God's eyes, you're just an ordinary infinity warlock. How can you have a lifespan of hundreds of thousands of years?" The God's eyes answered, "In the depths of this plane's core, there is an eternal God tree light of eternity. I once obtained a few light of eternity in the core world, which is why I have a lifespan of hundreds of thousands of years." Yang Feng's breathing became rapid, and his eyes flashed with excitement. Light of eternity. It's the eternal God tree light of eternity that has a miraculous effect on tempering the fleshly body. Each eternal God tree has the ability to increase lifespan, enhance soul aptitude, soul force, and fleshly body. In addition, each eternal God tree has a different emphasis. The Navagraha life-death fruit tree focuses on the soul aptitude and lifespan of a warlock. The light of eternity focuses on the lifespan and fleshly body of a warlock. Among the 8 warlock emperors, only the Time Lord and the Taboo Lord have mastered the light of eternity eternal God tree. After the Taboo Lord perished, the eternal God tree, the eternal light, disappeared. Yang Feng's eyes flashed with excitement. If an eternal God tree can absorb enough resources, it will generally bear a fruit every 10,000 years. In a world with distorted space, if there are enough resources, it can bear an eternal God fruit every 10 years. If Yang Feng can harvest the light of eternity fruits continuously, his fleshly body will be promoted to an incredible realm. Moreover, taking the light of eternity fruits can greatly increase Yang Feng's lifespan and nourish his origin power. For Yang Feng, the light of eternity is more important than the God-Slayer White Jade Sword. Yang Feng's eyes flashed with a scorching shade, and he said solemnly, "Take me to the place where the light of eternity is located." The location of the light of eternity is sealed by a world seal gate, built by a warlock emperor rank powerhouse. Only by gathering 3 seal keys can you enter the world seal gate. At the time I, the demon venerable, and the dragon emperor each seized a seal key. This is the key to the seal. The god's eyes spread the fingers of a hand, and a white key suddenly appeared and radiated resplendent light. Yang Feng grabbed the white key and sank into his thoughts. If I use a devourer, I can destroy the world seal gate by force. But if that happened, the eternal light might be able to escape from the world seal door. With my current strength, it's not very realistic to keep the eternal God tree. Eternal God trees are peerless treasures passed down from the age of eternals. Eternal God trees have no fighting strength. Even if an ordinary person approaches them, they can pluck fruits from them. However, they also have spirituality and formidable escape abilities. Unless it is a great holy step powerhouse, even ordinary Holy Spirit warlocks can't keep them here. Yang Feng's eyes flickered with enigmatic light, and he uttered unhurriedly, "In that case, whether I want to gather the God-Slayer White Jade Sword or get the eternal God tree, the light of eternity, I need to get rid of the demon venerable and the dragon emperor." Yang Feng ordered coldly, "Then everything that happened today must be concealed. Otherwise they won't be fooled." Fortunately, this is not the Zhangji plane. The phantom ruler distorts everyone's memories. The phantom ruler's figure suddenly appeared in the void, and its eyes opened strangely. Phantom ripples suddenly erupted and swept out in a radius of 1,000 miles. The demon ancestor destroyed the imperial palace just because His Majesty the Emperor disobeyed him. That's too savage. He single-handedly destroyed the entire Great Zhou Empire. In the places swept by the phantom ruler's fluctuations, the memories of the ordinary people were distorted. The memories of the ordinary people were distorted beyond recognition. Yang Feng uttered coldly, "God's eyes, submit to me or die, choose one." The phantom ruler's light dimmed, and the god's eyes recovered part of his will. The god's eyes flickered for a while, and then said respectfully, "I am willing to submit to you, sir." Yang Feng uttered with a cold smile, "Open your soul and let me set a soul brand." A crafty guy like the god's eyes is always thinking of rebelling against his master. If he doesn't set a soul brand, he will most likely rebel at any time. The god's eyes suddenly fell silent and exuded a gloomy aura. Yang Feng uttered flatly, "I have no less than 10 infinity warlocks as subordinates. If you want to die, god's eyes, I can fulfill your wish. Your infinity core and bones are also top alchemy materials." "I understand, my lord." The god's eyes sighed. and a soul projection suddenly emerged from him. Yang Feng flicked his finger, and the true God Empyrean imprint suddenly flew out. Countless rune chains flew out from the true God Empyrean imprint, stabbed into the soul projection of the God's eyes, and set up a soul brand in the depths of the God's eye's soul. When the true God Empyrean imprint disappeared, the God's eyes sensed that a fearsome brand appeared in the depths of his soul, and his heart shook at once. What an amazing method! Chapter 823. Chi-Bo raised his head and said in a trembling voice, "Sir Demon Venerable, the demon ancestor has already led his troops into the prairie. Please stay and protect us, Sir Demon Venerable. We are your most devout believers." Those 500,000 cavalrymen were practically invincible in battle on the grasslands. Therefore, the Golden Tribe Imperial Court has always maintained a strategic offensive posture against the Great Zhou dynasty. The Great Chu Empire immediately replaced the Great Zhou Empire as one of the three great empires of this world. At this moment, a voice suddenly drifted in the tent. Everyone's eyes blurred, and a person appeared in the center of the tent. Now, one of the three most powerful true gods of legend is standing in front of everyone and frankly losing to the newly risen demon ancestor. This naturally filled the hearts of the Golden Tribe Imperial Court's aristocrats with shock. The eyes of the Golden Tribe Imperial Court's aristocrats filled with shock, and they commented spiritedly, their eyes flashing with incredulity. The Golden Tribe Imperial Court has countless means to deal with the elites of the Great Zhou Empire. But against Yang Feng, who can annihilate 20,000 elite cavalrymen in one move, no one is willing to throw away their lives. When the Golden Tribe Imperial Court's aristocrats saw this scene, their complexion changed greatly, and they shivered, not daring to say a word. Chi-Bo's fate made them understand that in the eyes of the demon venerable, they are just ants that can be killed at will. They have no status. Yang Feng taking Wu Meiying as a consort can greatly appease the old ministers of the Great Zhou Empire, so that they won't panic. At the same time, it can make the government more smooth. Before long, the news that the Great Chu Empire's Emperor Demon Ancestor took Wu Meiying, the daughter of the Great Zhou Empire's Emperor Wu Shanming, as a consort spread throughout the Great Chu Empire. When Bo-Er saw the young man, he respectfully knelt on the ground and bowed to the young man. When the news reached the Golden Tribe Imperial Court, the entire Golden Tribe Imperial Court fell into a panic. After the evil god statue absorbed a large amount of blood, it opened its eyes, and a twisted vortex spread from its eyes, pierced into the void, and revealed a deeply hidden dark passage. "I am the Heavenly Venerable. Every warlock emperor has opened up a very powerful world inside them. That world is extremely vast, powerful, and has countless life forms and resources. Although it is slightly inferior to the 36 primary material planes, it cannot give birth to a warlock emperor rank existence. The 20,000 elites of the Black Wolf tribe took the initiative to intercept the army commanded by Yang Feng, but were completely annihilated by Yang Feng in one move. When the news reached the Golden Tribe Royal Court, everyone fell silent. Chi-Bo's eyes flashed with a wisp of light as he said in a deep voice, "Who are you?" All the nobles of the Golden Tribe Royal Court knelt on the ground and bowed to the young man respectfully. God's eyes said indifferently, "I came here this time to find Demon Exalts. Chi-Bo, since you are this generation's heavenly Khan, you should have a way to summon the Demon Venerable. Go and summon the Demon Lord immediately. Tell him that I have been defeated by the Demon Lord. If we want to defeat Demon Alpha, none of the three of us can beat him. Only when the three of us work together can we suppress him." From the dark passage came a faint voice. "It's unclear whether it's a man or a woman." Pokiriot's eyes flashed with derision, and he flicked his finger, and an air beam slammed into Chi-Bo's head and blasted it apart. Red and white matter instantly covered the Golden Tribe Royal Court. What's going on? How did the Heavenly Venerable lose? Chi-Bo cut his wrist, and a large amount of blood flowed out of his hand and entered the evil god statue. The eyes of God's eyes flashed with a scorching shade, and he said solemnly, "I alone am not his opponent, but if the three of us work together we can suppress him. He also hides a great secret, that is, the whereabouts of the corpse of the Warlock Emperor who manipulates this world. If we can get this great secret, it won't be impossible for us to promote to Holy Spirit warlocks in the future." There was complete silence in the Golden Tribe Royal Court. No one dared to speak. When the generals made eye contact with Qi Bo, they looked away, fear in their eyes. After all, the Great Chu Empire's foundation is too shallow, and its development is too fast. Most of the officials in the Great Chu Empire are officials of the Great Zhou Empire. Only in the center of the Great Chu Empire are some officials from the Myriad Demons Temple. The three Infinity Warlock rank powerhouses stayed in this world for hundreds of thousands of years. On the one hand, it was to heal the soul injuries caused by the collision of the three Empyrean grade secret treasure fragments. On the other hand, it was to find the location of the corpse of the fallen Warlock Emperor. Qi Boer's eyes flashed with awe, and he spoke more respectfully. So you are the mighty Heavenly Venerable. What brings you here? Heavenly Venerable. The Heavenly Venerable of legend, who is as famous as the Demon Venerable. With a flash of black light, a 2-meter-tall, handsome young man with strange runes engraved on his face flew out of the dark passage. He exudes a wicked charm. When the old ministers of the Great Zhou Empire heard this news, they felt a lot more at ease. The news that Yangfeng destroyed the Great Zhou Empire's imperial palace by himself has reached the Golden Tribe Royal Court. The Golden Tribe Royal Court has already sent countless spies to infiltrate the Great Zhou Empire, and all the spies returned with the same information. The ministers of the Golden Tribe Royal Court also started to doubt his words. An ant-like thing dares to make demands of me. You really overestimate yourself. If an Infinity Warlock rank powerhouse can control a Warlock Emperor corpse and control the great world inside the corpse, it won't be a problem for them to promote to a Warlock Monarch. At the same time, there is a great possibility that they will spend tens of thousands of years to advance to a Holy Spirit Warlock. Qi Bo said slowly. Our people have confirmed it. The 20,000 elite cavalrymen commanded by the Great Chu Empire's Emperor, the Demon Ancestor, have entered the grassland and destroyed 36 tribes. The 20,000 elites of the Black Wolf tribe were wiped out by the Demon Ancestor. If you have any good ideas, please don't hesitate to mention them. 5 days after Yangfeng married Wu Meiying, he announced that he would lead 20,000 cavalrymen to the Golden Tribe Royal Court in the grassland. I can help you. After the Great Zhou Empire's royal palace was destroyed, the Great Zhou Emperor immediately issued an imperial decree and ordered the remaining provinces of the Great Zhou Empire to surrender to Yangfeng's Great Chu Empire. Qi Bo responded respectfully and took out a statue of an evil god with a green face and fangs, a burly figure, and a pair of dragon wings on the back. God's eyes, it's you, you old fart. You came to me because your lifespan is about to run out. Do you want me to help you open the gate of the seal? Gazes full of shock and awe focused on the god's eyes. Heavenly Venerables are peerless powerhouses of legend, who possess the strength to destroy a state by themselves. In the grassland, the strong are revered. Naturally, they are even more in awe of the god's eyes. The god's eyes said lightly, and wisps of transcendent rank might slowly diffused. Greetings, Demon Venerable. Before this, if the Great Zhou Empire dared to send 20,000 cavalrymen to attack the Golden Palace, they would definitely be wiped out by the Golden Palace's cavalrymen. But now, none of the cavalrymen dared to stand up and fight Yangfeng. The entire grassland is the Golden Palace's pasture. As long as the Golden Palace wants to, it can mobilize 500,000 cavalrymen in a very short time. No, this pressure, he should be a Heavenly Venerable on the same level as the Demon Venerable. Pokiriot said casually, let's go. Let's go find the old dragon. Yes, the Heavenly Venerable. In the Golden Palace, the Khan of Heaven Qi Bo is sitting on the throne. Knowing that the situation is hopeless, the provinces obeyed the imperial decree and surrendered to the Great Chu Empire. He's the Heavenly Venerable. The Celestial Master, the Demon Lord, and the Dragon Emperor were the three true gods in the most popular myths and legends in this world. Hundreds of thousands of years ago, the three of them fought fiercely for the world, causing the sky to fall and the earth to crack and the sun and moon to lose their light. There are traces of the battle left by the three terrifying existences everywhere. Pokiriot sneered. If you lost to him, then why are you looking for me? My strength is about the same as yours. Since that guy is an opponent you can't defeat, then I'm not his opponent either. The Demon Venerable is the belief of everyone in the Golden Palace. The aristocrats grew up listening to the legends of the Demon Venerable. Moreover, the way the demon venerable appeared is so strange and extraordinary. It is natural that the aristocrats are in awe of him. That ravine is 100,000 kilometers long. That ravine should be the trace left behind by the fight between the demon ancestor and the heavenly venerable. Below Qi Bo sat the important ministers and generals of the Golden Tribe Royal Court. Within the Golden Tribe Royal Court, there was an atmosphere of tension, fear, and even despair. The god's eyes said flatly, "Pokiriet, a warlock from the Tsangji Plain came to this world. He is a top infinity warlock and a body-tempering warlock. He has several complete holy grade secret treasures on him. I lost to him." What? The heavenly venerable lost? If the corpse of the warlock emperor fell into the hands of a top holy step warlock alchemist, they could even refine a complete empyrean grade secret treasure. When the person suddenly appeared in the center of the tent, everyone's eyes were deeply attracted to him in an instant, as if he is the center of the universe. However, the world inside every warlock emperor rank powerhouse is a grade 2 plane that can give birth to Holy Spirit warlocks. It has countless resources and powerful life magic energy. In that case, I'll go with you to persuade the old dragon. Chapter 824. Pokiriet's figure suddenly blurred, and he disappeared from the Golden Canopy Imperial Court. The god's eyes abruptly disappeared from the Golden Canopy Imperial Court as well. Silence reigned in the Golden Canopy Imperial Court. The aristocrats looked at Qi Bo's corpse in the center of the Imperial Court in silence. Their eyes shimmered with an enigmatic light. The Golden Canopy Imperial Court was not the opponent of the Great Chu Empire's army commanded by Yangfeng to begin with. Now that the Gold Canopy Imperial Court's Khan of Heaven was crushed to death by the demon venerable they believed in like an ant, no one is in the mood to contend against Yangfeng. An aristocrat hesitated for a moment and asked, "What do we do now?" An aristocrat uttered with a cold smile, "The demon ancestor is a terrifying existence that even the demon venerable admits that he is inferior to. Since the demon venerable left, what else can we do? Surrender." The Great Zhou Empire surrenders to the demon ancestor, but it's just a change of name. It's still the same people who rule the Great Zhou Empire. That's right. As long as we have people by the demon ancestor's side, then there won't be a problem. With the veil of concealment exposed, the aristocrats of the Golden Canopy Imperial Court began to discuss the matter of surrender without the slightest scruple. Since the demon venerable of legend is not the demon ancestor's opponent, ordinary people like them have no psychological obstacles in surrendering. An aristocrat said to Zakubro of the left, "Zakubro, your daughter Kaina is the most beautiful woman in the Golden Canopy Imperial Court. Wild geese flying in the sky and wild wolves running on the prairie will fall head over heels for her beauty. If she can gain the favor of the demon ancestor, then we will have a foothold." Gazes full of peculiarities focused on Zakubro of the Golden Canopy Imperial Court. Kaina is recognized as the #1 beauty of the younger generation in the Golden Canopy Imperial Court. Even Khan of Heaven Qi Bo, who is interested in her, hinted to Zakubro several times. However, Zakubro of the left, who is very distressed for his precious daughter, pretended not to understand Khan of Heaven Qi Bo's hints, and let Kaina escape. Zakubro keenly sensed danger and killing intent from the strange gazes around him. If he did not agree, countless hidden enemies would pounce on him and use this excuse to kill him and divide up his grassland, slaves, and herdsmen. Zakubro said decisively, "All right. I am willing to offer my daughter, Kaina, to the demon ancestor." More than a dozen gazes surged with a trace of disappointment and apprehension. Once Zakubro's daughter became the demon ancestor's personal pet, no one would dare to provoke Zakubro again. The Khan of Heaven Chibber would not dare to attack an important minister of the Golden Tribe Royal Court like Zakubro because of various scruples. Demon Ancestor, Celestial Venerables, and Demon Venerables were god-fiend powerhouses who didn't see the nobles as human beings. They would kill them at will. Such existences made the nobles of the grasslands extremely fearful. The Azure Sea region was the world's largest sea region. The Sea Dragon Empire was located in the Azure Sea region. It was an empire formed by 3 large islands and hundreds of thousands of islands floating in the sea. 2 black lights descended from the sky and instantly flew towards the Golden Dragon Island, one of the 3 big islands. "What's that?" Two people, they're actually two people flying in the sky. How is this possible? Even a sea-treading martial sage can jump 20 zhang at most. They can't fly in the sky. Who are those two people? In front of the Sea Dragon Empire's imperial palace on the Golden Dragon Island, the imperial guards looked at the two experts flying in the sky, stunned and full of fear. Demon Venerable Pokiriot looked at the imperial guards of the Sea Dragon Empire and said with a cold smile, "The Demon Venerable has arrived. Sea Dragon Empire's emperor, hurry up and come out to greet him." A burst of weird laughter instantly enveloped the entire Sea Dragon Empire's imperial palace. The bodies of the imperial guards who were patrolling the city walls exploded one by one. In an instant, thousands of imperial guards had fallen, becoming corpses one by one. The strange death spread towards the imperial palace, plunging the people in the imperial palace into chaos and despair. Screams of horror rang out incessantly. The god's eyes, on the other hand, looked down with an indifferent expression on his face. The god's eyes, who has lived for hundreds of thousands of years, has become indifferent to life and death. At the same time, the number of people who have died at his hands is more than 10 million. In his eyes, the residents of this world were all like ants, so killing them was not a big deal. Only the top forces such as the Great Cloud Dynasty and the Western world's 3 dynasties can formulate strict laws to protect ordinary people. Ordinary people are the foundation of warlocks. Countless pinnacle infinity warlocks, warlock monarchs, Holy Spirit warlocks, and even warlock emperors are born from ordinary people. If there are no restrictions, an infinity warlock can kill countless ordinary people in the Great Cloud Dynasty within a year, and refine them into monarch-grade soulstones, or even holy-grade soulstones. In this way, although there will be one more warlock monarch rank powerhouse, but the existence of the entire human race will be seriously threatened. Therefore, the restrictions on warlocks in the Zhangji Plain are extremely strict. However, in this small world without a master, there are many infinity warlocks like the Demon Venerable Pokiriot who don't regard ordinary people as people. Cui Wuheng, the Emperor of the Sea Dragon Empire, greets Sir Demon Venerable. "Please show mercy and spare the lives of my subordinates, Sir Demon Venerable." A middle-aged man in an imperial robe with an extraordinary bearing strode over under the protection of dozens of royal guards. In fact, the Great Zhou Empire's Emperor Wu Shanming, the Golden Canopy Imperial Court's Khan of Heaven Qi Bor, and the Sea Dragon Empire's Emperor Cui Wuheng can all be regarded as wise monarchs. Unfortunately, in this era of transcendence and transcendence, wise monarchs are powerless to reverse the situation. They can only kneel before transcendence and transcendence. The Demon Venerable Pokiriot said with a ferocious smile, "Cui Wuheng, summon the Dragon Emperor and call out that damned old dragon. Otherwise, I will join forces with the Heavenly Venerable and kill everyone in the Sea Dragon Empire. Leave no one alive." A peerlessly terrifying aura emanated from the Celestial Lord's eyes body. The two terrifying auras of the celestial demon realm pressed down on the bodies of the mortals below like Mount Tai, making it difficult for everyone to breathe and even look at them directly. Is this the strength of the legendary Heavenly Venerable and Demon Venerable? Myth-rank powerhouses are really despairing. Cui Wuheng looked at the Demon Venerable and the Heavenly Venerable in the sky and sighed slightly, then took out an ordinary bead, cut his wrist, and a large amount of blood poured into the bead. The bead suddenly floated in the air and continued to expand, opening up to reveal a bottomless cave. Strands of terrifying dragon chi emanated from the cave, pressuring the mortals within 100 meters to the point that they could not breathe. A cold voice came from the cave. "God's Eye Pokiriot, have the two of you joined hands?" The Demon Venerable's eyes shimmered with a wicked light, and he said in a tempting tone, "That's right. An infinity warlock who calls himself the Demon Ancestor came to this world and defeated the God's Eyes. That guy has the whereabouts of the corpse of the God Slayer White Jade Sword's master. How about it, are you interested in joining forces with us to kill that guy? The light of eternity has matured. As long as the 3 of us join forces and kill that guy, we can make up for the lifespan consumed with the light of eternity. If we can get that Warlock Emperor's corpse, the 3 of us can promote to Warlock Monarch rank existences. In the future, when we return to the Zhangji Plain, it won't be an issue to establish a Warlock dynasty. If the 3 Warlock Monarch rank powerhouses have an Empyrean grade secret treasure fragment in their hands and advance steadily, They may really overthrow the Great Cloud Dynasty and establish a new warlock dynasty. Okay, I'll join you. A purple figure flew out of the hole, and a tall, handsome young man with 2 dragon horns on his head, who looks to be only 15 or 16 years old, appeared in front of everyone. Cui Wuheng took a deep look at the young man, and his eyes shimmered with astonishment. That's the Dragon Emperor, so young. As expected of an immortal legend. Are you guys discussing how to ambush me? A flat voice suddenly came from the side. The void distorted, and Yang Feng slowly walked out of the void and looked at the Demon Venerable and the Dragon Emperor with an enigmatic smile. Demon Ancestor. The complexion of the Demon Venerable and the Dragon Emperor suddenly changed dramatically, and they retreated briskly and looked at Yang Feng with apprehension. The Demon Venerable's gaze fell on the god's eyes and he asked coldly, "God's eyes, did you betray us?" Standing aside, the god's eyes uttered indifferently, "Master's cultivation base is heaven-defying. You should surrender to him." "You want me to surrender?" The Demon Venerable smiled coldly and flicked his wrist, and a fragment of the white jade god slayer sword suddenly appeared in his hand. Wisps of empyrean might spread from the fragment. The Dragon Emperor extended his hand, and a fragment of the white jade god slayer sword with only the hilt and a small part of the blade appeared in his hand. The Demon Venerable and the Dragon Emperor are both experienced infinity warlocks. Each of them has extremely rich combat experience. Since the god's eyes betrayed them, they instinctively felt that something is amiss. Yang Feng clapped his hands and laughed. "What a fast reaction! Unfortunately, you're a step too slow. Otherwise, since you have an Empyrean-grade secret treasure fragment, even if I wanted to deal with you, I would have to pay a great price. Hand over the white jade godslayer sword fragment and the keys in your hands." The transparent threads hidden behind the Demon Venerable and the Dragon Emperor suddenly became obvious. Involuntarily, the Demon Venerable and the Dragon Emperor threw the white jade godslayer sword fragment and the 2 jade-like keys towards Yang Feng with a look of horror on their faces. Chapter 825. The god's eyes looked at the flickering phantom ruler with astonishment in his eyes. What a powerful secret treasure. This is definitely a terrifying secret treasure at the pinnacle of illusions. Infinity warlocks are top powerhouses in this world, and are proficient in countless secret methods. It is easy to defeat them but very difficult to kill them, and even more difficult to control them with illusions. For the phantom ruler to be able to control powerhouses like the god's eyes, the Demon Venerable, and the Dragon Emperor is simply heaven-defying. With a wave of his hand, Yang Feng grabbed the 3 keys and sealed them into 3 boxes, and then pinched the 3 parts of the God-Slayer White Jade Sword together. With a flick of his finger, white light flashed, and the God-Slayer White Jade Sword was pinched together and turned into a perfect blade. Yang Feng's eyes flashed with a touch of regret. Unfortunately, even if its surface can be repaired, but its internal injuries show no signs of healing. This Empyrean-grade secret treasure still needs the plain origin force of this world to be fully repaired. Empyrean-grade secret treasures are extraordinarily powerful. Each Empyrean-grade secret treasure possesses world-shaking power, and is extremely hard. Once an Empyrean-grade secret treasure is fully formed, it must be a Warlock Emperor rank existence or the master who refined it. Otherwise, even a great holy step existence cannot destroy an Empyrean-grade secret treasure. However, once an Empyrean-grade secret treasure is severely damaged, it will be extremely difficult for it to recover. The God-Slayer White Jade Sword was broken into several pieces, and its spirituality extinguished. With such a serious injury, even a Warlock Emperor rank existence can only extract the plane origin force of a Grade 2 plane to heal it. Yang Feng sealed the God-Slayer White Jade Sword in a jade box, looked at the 2 Infinity Warlocks with an enigmatic smile, and said, "Demon Venerable, Dragon Emperor, do you 2 submit to me or die?" The Demon Venerable uttered with an unruly smile, "If you want me to submit to you, then wait until you reach the Holy Spirit Warlock rank. Then go to hell." Yang Feng appeared in front of the Demon Venerable with a step, stabbed a finger into the Demon Venerable's forehead, and dug, and the Demon Venerable's infinity core flew into his hand. A look of horror on his face, the Demon Venerable didn't expect Yang Feng to kill him, an Infinity Warlock, without hesitation. It should be noted that an Infinity Warlock is the highest realm expert in the Zhangji plane. Any Infinity Warlock can increase the strength of a major force by leaps and bounds. When the Dragon Emperor saw this, he said decisively, "Chui is willing to serve you, please take me in." Yang Feng said coldly, "Release your soul." The Dragon Emperor gritted his teeth, and a dragon-shaped soul projection suddenly appeared. With a flick of Yang Feng's finger, the true God Emperorian imprint suddenly appeared, and countless black rune chains stabbed into the dragon-shaped soul projection like a tide and engraved mysterious runes on it. Yang Feng said lightly, "Take me to the place where the light of eternity is sealed." God's Eye replied respectfully, "Yes, Master." With a sway of their figures, the three of them turned into three beams of light and flew into the distance. The demon ancestor. Chui Wuheng looked at the back of Yang Feng's group of three and sighed, looking like he has aged by dozens of years. Faced with the demon ancestor, the legendary Dragon Emperor was subdued without a single move. Chui Wuheng, who originally had no confidence in the Great Chu Empire to contend against the demon ancestor, felt even more despair now. The God's Eyes group of three flew in the sky for a while, and then finally plunged into the deepest part of the sea and entered a maelstrom. The maelstrom is filled with terrifying power that can crush everything. Even if it is a Moonlight Warlock rank powerhouse, once they fall into the maelstrom, they will be shredded to pieces by the power of the maelstrom. Yang Feng's group of three are all Infinity Warlocks. Even though more than 99% of their life magic energy has been weakened by this strange world, but the remaining power of their fleshly body is still terrifying. The maelstrom's power cannot harm Yang Feng's group of three. Yang Feng's group of three snuck down along the maelstrom for about 40,000 kilometers, when a bronze gate suddenly appeared and blocked in front of them. The bronze door was condensed from countless strange seals, and it was extremely powerful. It hovered between reality and illusion, and it emanated a desolate, mighty, and bottomless terrifying aura. Yang Feng stared at the bronze gate with admiration in his eyes. As expected of a Warlock Emperor rank powerhouse, they made perfect use of the world's origin force. The most powerful force in the world is the power of time. Even if it is the power of a Warlock Emperor rank powerhouse, they can only exist for a few million years at most. Furthermore, they will weaken with time, and eventually be completely obliterated. However, the Warlock Emperor rank powerhouse used a secret method, used his power as a seed, and used the plane's origin force as a source of power to create a sealed gate. Even after who knows how many tens of thousands of years have passed, the bronze gate is still extremely powerful. Even if it is a Holy Spirit Warlock, it will be difficult to break the bronze gate. After all, the bronze gate is linked to the whole world. Only a Warlock Emperor rank powerhouse can blast through the bronze gate with absolute power. Yang Feng spread the fingers of a hand, and three keys inserted into the bronze gate. Crack! Crack! An ancient, ear-piercing sound of the door opening came from the bronze gate, and a surge of world energy spread out from the bronze gate. When ordinary glorious sun warlocks are hit by the surging world force, they will be eroded by the world force and reduced to puppets of the world will, which will destroy the seal set up by the Warlock Emperor at all costs. However, Yang Feng's group of three are Infinity Warlocks with extremely firm minds. As such, the powerful world force cannot hurt them at all. As soon as Yang Feng stepped into the bronze gate, he saw a 1,000-meter-tall eternal god tree light of eternity with 36 branches, each of which carries a cluster of light. The 36 clusters of light on the 36 branches of the eternal divine spell light of eternity are the fruits of light of eternity. It takes 10,000 years for a fruit of light of eternity to be born and to absorb countless resources. A fruit of light of eternity can increase a warlock's lifespan by 50,000 years, greatly enhance the strength of the fleshly body, and slightly enhance the soul force and soul aptitude of the warlock. Next to the eternal god tree light of eternity, there is a white pool of milky white spring water formed from world force. Yang Feng raised his hand, and the God Slayer white jade sword turned into a stream of light and entered the milky white spring water. As if it has a life of its own, the milky white spring water entered the God Slayer white jade sword and nourished the Empyrean grade secret treasure. Yang Feng pointed with a finger, and 36 jade boxes flew out and landed on the 36 fruits of light of eternity. The light of eternity shook slightly, and the fruits fell into the 36 jade boxes. Thank you. After thanking the light of eternity, Yang Feng turned around and left the world core with the two powerhouses, the Heavenly Venerable and the Dragon Emperor. This world belongs to me now. I can start to nurture my wings and improve my cultivation base here. As soon as Yang Feng stepped out of the world core, he looked into the distance, and the corners of his mouth rose into a smile. The world-shaking tribulation that will affect the entire universe is about to arrive. Yang Feng has too little time. The time difference between this world and the outside world is 1,000 times, which can make his foundation more profound in a short period of time. At the same time, he can mend his foundation. A dozen days later, the Gold Canopy Imperial Court announced its submission to the Great Chu Empire and became a part of the empire. Not long after, the Sea Dragon Empire also announced its submission to the Great Chu Empire and became a part of the empire. The whole world was unified by Yang Feng and firmly under his control. The countless battle robots also entered this world through various teleportation gates and began to carry out various construction projects, secretly modifying this world. Yang Feng took out all the huge resources he plundered from the Zhangji Plain and other plains, and established an extraordinary holy land suitable for cultivation in this world. Wu Meiying, Qiaoming Luo, Qinghe Ziwei, Qian Jieyu, Hayaina, Regina, and other beautiful girls with outstanding soul aptitude collected by Yang Feng entered this extraordinary holy land to practice cultivation. Yang Feng's true body, in the deepest part of the extraordinary holy land, consumed the light of eternity fruits and practiced the primal chaos imperishable body, and began to comprehend various mysterious laws. Time elapsed. 1 year passed in the Zhangji Plain while 1,000 years passed in the strange world. In a secret room, Yang Feng slowly opened his eyes. There is already magic crystal dust around him, and advanced infinity warlock rank fluctuations of power slowly diffused from him. Yang Feng raised his eyebrows, and an enigmatic glint flashed in his eyes. There are not enough resources. At this rate, I'll have to practice cultivation for another 100 years at most before all the resources I have accumulated will be consumed. Yang Feng has obtained countless resources over the years, but the resources he needs to consume to practice cultivation is an astronomical figure. Wu Meiying, Qiaoming Luo, Qinghe Ziwei, Qian Jieyu, Hayaina, and Regina are all geniuses. With Yang Feng's help, they implanted a small world in the great warlock realm and became monstrous geniuses. However, their consumption is also extremely huge, far greater than that of ordinary warlocks. In such a situation, only 1,000 years have passed, yet the resources Yang Feng plundered along the way have been almost completely consumed. The sword ray containing twisting dark force can seriously injure an ordinary junior infinity warlock rank, human warlock rank powerhouse. Yang Feng extended his hand and operated the essence of Devour, and a black hole appeared in his right hand and swallowed the black sword ray. In an instant, the black sword light was swallowed by the terrifying black hole and disappeared. Amazing, this is a supreme infinity warlock? How fearsome! Yang Feng looked at his right hand with a dignified shade in his eyes. A bloody line appeared on his right hand, and drops of blood dripped from the wound. Strengthened by the light of eternity and the primal chaos imperishable body, Yang Feng's fleshly body is already very strong, and his recovery ability is also terrifyingly strong, far surpassing that of powerhouses of the same rank. For Agnipe to be able to injure Yang Feng with a single sword strike, Yang Feng experienced the tyrannical power and terror of a supreme infinity warlock. It seems that I have to be a little more serious in order to truly subdue you. An enigmatic ray flashed in Yang Feng's eyes, and he operated the Battle Demon's secret method. The Battle Demon armor instantly enveloped him, and advanced infinity warlock rank fluctuations of power slowly diffused from him. Advanced infinity warlock? How is this possible? How can your cultivation speed be so fast? Agnipe's beautiful eyes flashed with shock. Her beautiful eyes were filled with seriousness. Yang Feng's figure fluttered, and he turned into an afterimage and appeared in front of Agnipe. He spread his right hand, and a huge black hole more than 10 times stronger than the previous one suddenly appeared and pressed towards Agnipe. Agnipe suddenly retreated briskly, turned into more than 20 afterimages, and slashed out one powerful, distorted sword ray after another, slashing towards Yang Feng from incredible angles. A devour black moon suddenly rose from behind Yang Feng, and like a monster capable of devouring the world, frantically devoured all power. The sword ray containing dark force that Agnipe slashed out with was completely devoured by the Devour Black Moon, unable to harm Yang Feng in the slightest. Agnipe's martial arts have gone through tens of thousands of years of actual combat, and have been thoroughly tempered. She is even not inferior to the Feisua Plains sea goddess of war Basana, who has the divine authority of the martial god. But in front of the Devour Black Moon, she is like a mouse trying to pull a turtle. Beskia looked at the Devour Black Moon with a dignified look in her beautiful eyes. Amazing. When did Yang Feng grow up to this point? What a monster! Although Beskia has submitted to Yang Feng, but deep down, she still looks down on him, believing that he is just an ambitious and ruthless person who takes advantage of others' difficulties. But now Yang Feng, whom Beskia somewhat looked down on, has grown into an existence that can rival her in such a short period of time. She was quite moved at once. Agnipe slashed out 1,000 times in a row, but still couldn't break the Devour Black Moon. Her beautiful eyes became more and more dignified. Suddenly, Agnipe stopped in midair, took a deep breath, and then slashed out 1,000 times in an instant. The 1,000 swords combined into one and formed a 100-meter-long, extremely sharp black sword ray that slashed towards Yang Feng with devastating power. A dignified look in his eyes, Yang Feng extended a hand and spread the fingers of a hand, and the Devour Black Moon suddenly shrunk by a size, and its defensive power increased tenfold. When the black sword ray slashed into the Devour Black Moon, it chopped the Devour Black Moon into two and split the battle demon armor on Yang Feng's right hand, revealing a bone-deep wound. You lost. From the black sword ray, Agnipe strangely teleported out and mercilessly stabbed her sword at Yang Feng's forehead with frigid killing intent. Wrong. You're the one who lost. Yang Feng suddenly showed a strange smile. Through the world ring he frantically extracted world force from the 9 small worlds inside him, and unleashed a primal chaos annihilation fist that slammed into Agnipe's abdomen in an instant. A mist of blood erupted, and Agnipe's abdomen burst open, and she flew away like a broken rag doll. Loftily in the sky, world force revolved around Yang Feng, looking like an invincible god, looking down at Agnipe. A copious amount of dark force gushed out of Agnipe and quickly repaired her broken body. Agnipe's figure fluttered, and a dozen-plus afterimages suddenly appeared. At the same time, her figure blurred, and she appeared above Yang Feng and stabbed at him with her sword. It's no use. Yang Feng chuckled and slammed a fist into Agnipe's fallen angel's sword. The force of the 9 small worlds erupted and instantly shattered the fallen angel's sword, and then slammed into Agnipe. Agnipe spewed out a large mouthful of blood, fell to the ground, and blasted open a huge hole. Yang Feng took a step, appeared in front of Agnipe, and pointed a finger at Agnipe's forehead. Countless black runes poured into Agnipe like a tide and sealed her completely. Yang Feng uttered with a smile, "According to our agreement, you should become my subordinate, right?" "Yes, my lord." A complicated look flashed in Agnipe's eyes. She sighed slightly, and a soul shadow suddenly appeared. Yang Feng pointed with a finger, and the true god Empyrean imprint suddenly flew out, and countless rune chains entered Agnipe's soul projection and branded his soul brand inside. Yang Feng removed the runes on Agnipe and asked Agnipe curiously, "Agnipe, compared to the warlock monarchs you besieged at the time, who is stronger?" Agnipe answered, "The warlock monarchs we besieged at the time were all seriously injured, and they were comparable to you in strength." It turns out that the treasure trove is in the core world. The Zhangji Plain's core world was also a part of the Zhangji Plain in ancient times. In the Archgod era, the Zhangji Plain was much larger than it is now. In order to contend against the innately powerful archgods who dominated the world, the Time Lord ordered the many treasures Great Holy to use the corpse of a warlock emperor rank existence as the core to refine a world for the resistance army to live in. That world is the embryonic form of the core world. In the eras of the 8 warlock dynasties, each warlock emperor invested a lot of resources to build the core world and turned it into the last stronghold of human warlocks. After the second warlock emperor Taboo Lord buried the heart of a strange life form in the center of the core world began to attach itself to the Zhangji Plain and expand continuously, swallowing many places of the Zhangji Plain. Over time, the core world has now become a treasure land with the densest life force in the Zhangji Plain, and the essence of human warlocks gathered in it. Over time, the core world has now become a treasure land with the densest life magic energy in the Zhangji Plain, and the essence of human warlocks. In the core world, only human warlocks exist. The other races are slaves, experimental subjects, servants, and soldiers of human warlocks. Without the protection of humans, other races can only wait for them to be wiped out. Once a human warlock is controlled by another race, then both the human warlock and the other race warlock will be destroyed and annihilated, leaving no survivors. As the final stronghold of human warlocks, the core world is attached to the Zhangji Plain. But it is a strange world that is constantly moving and located in an alternate space. Only warlocks who come from the core world can easily enter and exit the core world, while it is very difficult for human warlocks from the outside to enter the core world. Just determining the location of the core world is very difficult. It should be noted that even warlock emperor rank archgods weren't able to find the core world. Yu Yan obtained the location of the Black Emperor's treasure trove during a fortuitous encounter. But since the treasure trove is in the core world, she can't do anything about it. Yang Feng's eyes shimmered with enigmatic light. To enter the core world, you must have a referral from someone from the core world. With a flash of light, Yang Feng appeared at the edge of the heaven and earth spirit root branch floating continent occupied by the Star Dynasty and said loudly, I, Undying Mountains Lei Ming of the Golem Dynasty, request an audience with the mighty Star Monarch. The Time Monarch, the Taboo Monarch, the Transcendent Monarch, the Star Monarch, the Death Monarch, and the Magic Note Monarch. These 6 Warlock Monarch rank powerhouses are the rulers of the 6 Warlock dynasties. Following in the footsteps of the core world's human warlocks, their reputation has spread throughout the Zhangji Plain. Among the 8 Warlock Emperors, the Time Lord and the Star Lord are more rational and won't kill people lightly. Compared to killing people, they prefer to make friends. Only when dealing with enemies will they kill without hesitation. After weighing the pros and cons, Yang Feng chose the Star Monarch to request an audience with. Rays of dazzling starlight extended from the branch floating continent and formed a bridge of stars. There are flowers of stars floating on the bridge of stars, and warlocks of the Star Dynasty dressed in warlock robes embroidered with the sun, moon, and stars appeared on the bridge of stars. Surrounded by a dozen plus warlocks from the Star Dynasty, a beautiful woman with a mask of the sun and moon, long hair like a black waterfall, a figure of golden proportions and countless starlight shrouding her every movement, like a beautiful goddess walking in the starlight, walked over. Undying Mountains Lei Ming? Interesting. I am the Star Dynasty's Star Heavenly Maiden. Lei Ming, if you want to request an audience with the Star Monarch, then let me see what you're capable of. The Star Heavenly Maiden smiled sweetly, and advanced infinity warlock rank fluctuations of power erupted. She pointed with a finger, and starlight formed ribbons. The ribbons suddenly turned into starlight locks that shot towards Yang Feng. The Star Thread Cloud Lock was the name of this spell, and it was also an extremely powerful killing technique recorded in the Star Codex. The chains of starlight were constructed from the purest starlight energy and the laws of the stars. They contained powerful purifying and sealing powers. The Starlight Thread Cloud Lock was not afraid of swords and sabers, nor was it afraid of wind, fire, or lightning. Could be both hard and soft, a combination of hard and soft. In the past, the Star Cloud Locks defeated countless powerful warlocks in the hands of the Star Lord's Empress. What a powerful cloud strand of stellar threads. If this was 3 years ago, I would have no choice but to surrender to this technique. Yang Feng smiled and pointed with a finger, and a small black hole suddenly appeared. An endless devouring force gushed out from the black hole and swept towards the Star Cloud Locks. The dense swarm of star threads cloud shackles was swallowed by the black hole, obliterated, and transformed into Yang Feng's power. The complexion of the dozen-plus Star Dynasty's warlocks flickered. The Star Cloud Locks isn't an invincible spell, but Yang Feng dispelled the Star Cloud Locks so easily. This kind of strength can be rated as terrifying. The Star Heavenly Maiden retracted her spell and looked at Yang Feng with an enigmatic smile, saying, "Amazing." As expected of the Undying Mountain's young master Lei Ming, the most talented genius in the entire Undying Mountain. After practicing cultivation for less than 100 years, You have already promoted to an Infinity Warlock. Yang Feng had a vague feeling. It seems that my identity as the Undying Mountain's young master Lei Ming has been seen through. However, Yang Feng doesn't care. At this time, his strength and influence are already tremendous. He doesn't need the support of the Undying Mountain. As an Infinity Warlock, Yang Feng is full of confidence. Even if he runs into a Warlock Monarch rank powerhouse, he can retreat unscathed. The Star Heavenly Maiden smiled sweetly, waved her lily-white hand, and made an inviting gesture. Please come in, the Star Monarch is waiting for you. Yang Feng smiled slightly, took a step, and appeared beside the Star Heavenly Maiden. The star bridge rolled up and sank into the depths of the branch floating continent. Greetings, Star Monarch. I am the battle demon Sex Yang Feng. As soon as Yang Feng stepped into the Star Hall in the center of the Star Royal Palace, he bowed to the Star Monarch sitting on the throne and said in a dignified manner. The Star Monarch sitting on the throne looked at Yang Feng with an enigmatic smile and said, Yang Feng, you dare to impersonate the Golem Lord. How audacious! Chapter 828. Yang Feng said with a calm smile. I had no choice but to do so. I've made a fool of myself. With the Empyrean grade secret treasure White Jade Godslayer, plus the two supreme Infinity Warlock rank powerhouses Agnipe and Beskia joined his ranks. Even if a Warlock Monarch rank powerhouse invades his branch floating continent, he is somewhat confident that he can seriously injure or even kill the other party. With a strong enough underlying strength, Yang Feng is more confident and at ease when facing the Star Monarch. The Star Monarch asked curiously, when the Heaven and Earth Spirit Root appeared, the Transcendent Monarch proposed to suppress you, who pretended to be a Golem Dynasty member. It was the Taboo Monarch who saved you. According to him, this is the will of the mighty Taboo Lord. What is the relationship between you and the Taboo Lord? Taken aback, Yang Feng recalled the scene when he obtained the Taboo Lord's inheritance in the Feisua Plain. Taboo Lord? Yang Feng frowned and fell into silence. The Star Monarch smiled and said considerately, if it's not convenient to say, then forget it. I was just curious. By the way, Yang Feng, why did you come to see me this time? Yang Feng answered calmly, I want to enter the core world and look for opportunities. There are indeed many treasures in the core world, but most of them already have owners. It won't be of much benefit for you to enter the core world now. With the Great Tribulation approaching, the Zhangji Plain has entered a period of transformation. Countless years of accumulation will erupt in the coming years. The countless treasures and dwellings hidden in the Zhangji Plain will emerge one after another thanks to the Zhangji Plain's origin will. Soon the surface world will be the biggest treasure trove. Why do you want to go to the core world at this time? The Star Monarch asked. Over the years, in order to leave a way out, countless warlocks have built one dwelling and treasure trove after another in secret places on the Zhangji Plain. Many cave abodes and treasure vaults were obtained by fated people, but even more cave abodes and treasure vaults were hidden extremely deeply. The dwellings set up by some Holy Spirit Warlock rank powerhouses will move automatically over time. Some Holy Spirit Warlock rank dwellings are similar to the core world. They are in a twisted and illusory world. Some Eternal's ruins were even located in the cracks between worlds that were eternally unmoving. They were constantly moving and incomparably mysterious. Even a Warlock Emperor rank powerhouse would find it difficult to discover them. If it weren't for the impending invasion of another universe, those treasures wouldn't have appeared. Now that another universe was invading, if this universe did not want to be devoured, it would instinctively increase the combat power of its subordinates. Under the influence of the origin will of the universe, many treasures in this universe would appear in various reasonable ways. Yang Feng's eyes shimmered with enigmatic light, and he said with a smile, as the final base of human warlocks, I have always been curious about the core world. Am I not qualified enough? Of course not. However, as the core world is the final base of us human warlocks, we must be very careful in selecting our entrance. Unless you are willing to sign the Core World Convention and abide by the rules recorded in it, even if you are a Holy Spirit Warlock, you will not be able to enter the core world. The Star Monarch smiled and spread the fingers of a hand, and starlight enveloped him and formed a contract in his hand, which flew towards Yang Feng. Yang Feng took the contract book and carefully looked at it, sweeping through everything written on the contract book. There are several rules recorded in the contract. The first is that the soul must be free. Only those without a soul brand are qualified to enter the core world. The second is that the soul must be that of a human warlock. The third is that the location of the core world must never be exposed. The fourth is that once you enter the core world, you must fight for the survival of human warlocks. If you encounter other races that threaten the survival of human warlocks, you must take action and annihilate them. The fifth is that if there is a conflict between powerhouses above the Holy Spirit warlock rank, you must leave the core world and go to other places to fight. At the time, the first sect master of the Battle Demon sect had a fortuitous encounter in the core world, and then came to the surface world and assisted the first emperor of the Great Cloud Dynasty in establishing the Great Cloud Dynasty. After the Battle Demon sect's first sect master, no one in the Battle Demon sect knew about the existence of the core world because of the geocentric convention. Yang Feng uttered with a smile, "No problem, I can abide by these few rules." At the time, in order to unite all human warlocks to fight against the ruling archgods, the conditions for entering the core world were not very strict. But after the core world evolved, the cultivation environment became more than 100 times better than that of the Zhangji Plains surface world, which was declining day by day. As a result, the rulers of the core world concealed the existence of the core world, and only allowed the most outstanding warlock supreme geniuses to enter the core world. Yang Feng has promoted to an infinity warlock in a short period of time. Furthermore, he has the audacity to occupy a branch floating continent of the heaven and earth spirit root. Such a peerless genius is naturally qualified to enter the core world. The Star Monarch waved her hand, and a gold contract flew to in front of Yang Feng. Yang Feng received the gold contract, and transcendent pupils suddenly appeared in his eyes. After carefully examining it for a while and confirming that no tricks were done, he signed his name on it. Rays of dazzling golden light shone, and a strange golden arrow with 9 eyes suddenly appeared above the golden contract. As soon as the strange gold arrow appeared, Yang Feng's heart went alarmed. He instinctively felt that the gold arrow has the power to insta-kill him. The strange golden arrow suddenly opened its bloody mouth and swallowed the golden contract book. The 9 eyes turned, carefully sized up Yang Feng, and then disappeared. The Star Monarch said with a smile, "That's an Empyrean-grade secret treasure that the Time Lord had the many treasures wholly refined using the spine of the ancient Emperor All-Eyes God of Justice. Even if it is a great holy step powerhouse, if they violate the core world convention, they will be shot to death by the Empyrean Eye Arrow." After the gold arrow disappeared, a gold token appeared in Yang Feng's hand. As soon as Yang Feng held the gold token, he vaguely felt that a mysterious, queer, and powerful world is moving in the depths of the Zhangji Plains core. With a look of satisfaction in his eyes, Yang Feng put away the gold token and continued to chat with the Star Monarch. After attending the banquet held by the Star Monarch, Yang Feng turned into a stream of light and flew away from the floating continent occupied by the Star Imperial Court. "What do you think of him?" After Yang Feng left in a secret room, the Star Monarch sitting on a sofa asked with a smile. The mysterious and unfathomable Star Heavenly Maiden appeared on the other side of the sofa in a stream of starlight and sat on equal footing with the Star Monarch, looking like a pair of beautiful sisters. The beautiful eyes of the Star Heavenly Maiden flickered with dazzling starlight, and she uttered unhurriedly, "A dragon among men, an ambitious and ruthless person." The Star Monarch uttered with a faint smile, "That's right. If my astrology isn't mistaken, Yang Feng should be one of the geniuses of this era, who are qualified to compete for the position of Warlock Emperor." The Star Heavenly Maiden raised her eyebrows and said, "Warlock Emperor? Him. He's just from an ordinary sect in the surface world. Compared with those freak geniuses in the core world, isn't he too lacking? Moreover, the ancient god realm, the remnants of the demon race, the evil god plane, and the savage insect plane, none of the geniuses born in those planes are simple. The Zhangji Plains human warlocks in the surface world are much weaker than those in the core world. Moreover, in the vast universe there are countless powerhouses. In the 36 primary material planes, there are also crouching tigers, hidden dragons, and geniuses. In any era, there is only one person who can become a warlock emperor. That person must be a supreme powerhouse who has suppressed countless peerless geniuses in an era. although the Star Heavenly Maiden is quite optimistic about Yang Feng, but she doesn't think that he can become a new Warlock Emperor. The Star Monarch uttered with a smile. He's just one of the geniuses who are qualified to compete for the position of Warlock Emperor. However, I'm still very optimistic about him. The Star Heavenly Maiden's beautiful eyes flickered with extraordinary splendor, and she uttered with a smile, I think that Helian Wui, Yan Maoan and Bu Liantian, these freaks of the core world are much stronger than Yang Feng. Besides, the freaks who are most likely to become Warlock Emperors should be you 6 monarchs. Each of the 6 monarchs is a genius among geniuses, a freak among freaks, and a peerless powerhouse of the younger generation. The 6 of them are peerless geniuses of the core world's younger generation, who are most likely to become a new Warlock Emperor. The Star Monarch sighed faintly. I can't. All the secret methods I learned come from the star text. Even if I practice them to the peak, I can only become a great holy step powerhouse. I have no hope of becoming a Warlock Emperor. The Star Heavenly Maiden was silent for a while, and then sighed regretfully. Every Warlock Emperor is a fearsome existence who opens a path of their own and wields a different flawless great essence. Once they reach the position of Warlock Emperor, before they die, no one can promote to a Warlock Emperor with the same essence. Even if a Warlock Emperor dies, it will be far more difficult for others to promote to a Warlock Emperor with the same essence than it is for powerhouses who open a path of their own. The Battle Demon Sex Yang Feng requests an audience with the Taboo Monarch. The next day, Yang Feng came to the floating continent occupied by the Taboo Imperial Court and raised his voice. A dark light extended from the floating continent occupied by the Taboo Imperial Court, appeared under Yang Feng's feet, and formed a bridge of dark light. Chapter 829. As soon as Yang Feng stepped on the dim light suddenly rolled back and entered the depths of the floating continent. With a flash of black light, Yang Feng appeared in an exquisite palace. On the throne of the palace, there sits a peerless beauty with a pair of cat ears, dressed in a gorgeous warlock robe, and exuding wisps of monarch might. She is the Taboo Imperial Court's Taboo Monarch. There are 8 powerhouses standing below the Taboo Monarch, each of whom has different bloodline characteristics and exudes the breath of a powerhouse. As soon as Yang Feng appeared in the palace, scrutinizing gazes focused on him. Yang Feng bowed to the Taboo Monarch and said magnanimously, Greetings, Taboo Monarch. Thank you for speaking up for justice at the time and letting me avoid a disaster. At the time, if the Taboo Monarch hadn't spoken up to protect Yang Feng, with his strength at the time, he wouldn't have been able to resist an all-out attack from any of the 6 Warlock dynasties. The Taboo Monarch uttered with a sweet smile, Don't thank me, this is my lord's will. If you want to thank someone, you should thank my lord. Yang Feng smiled and flicked a finger, and a storage ring flew towards the Taboo Monarch. This is a small gift I prepared. Please accept it. The Taboo Monarch took the storage ring, glanced at it, and then put it aside and uttered with a smile, Not bad, you're considerate. The storage ring contains precious cultivation resources that can move the heart of even Warlock Monarch rank powerhouses. However, the Taboo Monarch is the ruler of the Taboo Imperial Court, a powerful Warlock dynasty who has suppressed countless planes. The resources she can mobilize are far greater than Yang Feng's. As such, the storage ring is naturally nothing in her eyes. You are Yang Feng? I am one of the 72 marshals of the Taboo Imperial Court, the Lightning Devil. I want to challenge you to see if you are worthy of the Taboo Imperial Court's support. A burly man with a single horn on his head and countless mysterious lightning runes engraved all over his body walked out from among the 8 powerhouses and stared at Yang Feng with scorching fighting spirit in his eyes. A handsome man with a pair of horns on the head, a burly figure, white hair and a wicked temperament sneered. Yang Feng, if you don't dare to fight the Lightning Devil, then we won't make things difficult for you. However, you'd better not come to the Taboo Imperial Dynasty in the future. The Taboo Dynasty doesn't like to befriend cowards. In the world of warlocks, the strong are respected. Only those with equivalent strength could sit on equal footing, communicate, and become friends. There are countless bloodline warlocks in the Taboo Imperial Court. These bloodline warlocks use the blood essence of various powerful existences to transform themselves into warlocks similar to those powerful existences. Blood Meridian warlocks were powerful, But they were also irascible, and would start a fight at the slightest disagreement. Only true experts can gain the approval of Blood Meridian warlocks. Sitting on the throne, the taboo monarch looked at Yang Feng with an enigmatic smile, wondering how Yang Feng will respond. Yang Feng said with a smile, "In that case, I'll exchange pointers with you." "Okay, you can exchange pointers here." The taboo monarch smiled and clapped her hands, and black light descended from the sky and illuminated the center of the hall. Along with flashes of light, a small arena equipped with spatial spells suddenly appeared. The lightning devil's figure fluttered, and he flew into the small arena. As soon as he operated a secret method, one lightning rune after another appeared all over his body, and his body suddenly swelled up and turned into a 10-meter-tall thunder lion tiger devil with a lightning horn on his head and a ferocious expression that resembled a lion or a tiger. Lightning ligers are fearsome existences that can manipulate the essence of lightning and wield purple demonic lightning. An Infinity Warlock rank lightning liger can slay a human Infinity Warlock. A deep and dark demonic chi revolves around countless bolts of purple demonic lightning, making the lightning devil look like a god of lightning. Yang Feng smiled, took a step forward and stepped into the arena. The lightning devil barked. Yang Feng quickly cast a secret method. "Otherwise, I'll step in." Waves of incomparably terrifying thunderous sounds reverberated in the area, like the rumbling of thunder, incessantly lingering in the ears. Yang Feng said with a smile, "I'm ready." "Arrogant. In that case, let me see what you've got." The lightning devil roared and unleashed the essence of lightning to manipulate lightning. In an instant, dark clouds surged, lightning flashed, and thunder rumbled in an area 100 kilometers in radius. Millions of bolts of lightning suddenly shot out at the same time, gathered the lightning force in an area 100 kilometers in radius, and turned into a purple demonic lightning that slashed towards Yang Feng with Infinity Warlock rank might. If an ordinary junior Infinity Warlock is hit by the purple demonic lightning, their magic shields will collapse, and they will eventually be seriously injured or even killed. Yang Feng spread the fingers of a hand, and black devour light suddenly appeared and extended towards the purple demonic lightning. The purple demonic lightning instantly blasted into the black devour light and disappeared. What spell is that? What an amazing spell! What a fearsome defensive spell! When the 7 Infinity Warlocks below the taboo monarch saw the purple demonic lightning disappear, their countenance changed dramatically, and their eyes shimmered with a dignified shade. The purple demonic lightning is a spell the lightning devil casts by combining the essence of lightning with the essence of heaven and earth in an area 100 kilometers in radius. Even the 7 Infinity Warlocks would find it difficult to block it. Yet Yang Feng easily broke the purple demonic lightning. This kind of strength is simply terrifying. Demonic lightning prison. Eyes shot with blood, the lightning devil roared, and the lightning runes all over his body erupted in an instant and were stimulated to the limit. In an instant, the life magic energy in an area 1,000 kilometers in radius in the arena was extracted. Dancing silver snakes and countless bolts of purple demonic lightning barreled towards Yang Feng from all directions, destroying everything in their path. Each of the countless bolts of purple demonic lightning has the power to seriously injure Infinity Warlocks. Amid the doomsday-like barrage of purple demonic lightning, black devour light appeared on Yang Feng, and he took a step forward, devoured countless bolts of purple demonic lightning, appeared on the lightning devil's head, and slapped it with his palm. Boom! The lightning devil trembled in an instant, and then crashed into the ground and blasted open a huge hole in the ground. Yang Feng pointed with a finger on the lightning fiend's forehead, and countless black runes turned into seals that filled the lightning fiend's body and sealed his power. When the power of the lightning devil's bloodline was sealed, the extraordinary life form lightning liger shrank and finally changed into a human form. His power was completely sealed by Yang Feng, and even 99% of his fleshly body's power was sealed. Yang Feng floated back slightly, landed on the ground and uttered with a smile, "Martial Lightning Devil, thank you for letting me win." The lightning devil took a deep breath, took a deep look at Yang Feng, a complicated look in his eyes, and said solemnly, "Not bad, Yang Feng, you're very strong. You should be able to fight against Helian Wui, Yin Maoan Buliantian, and the true Dragon Crown Prince. I concede. Undo the seals on me." Yang Feng pointed with a finger, and countless black runes flew out of the lightning devil, fell into his hand and disappeared. With a forthright smile, the lightning devil's figure fluttered, and he returned to the group of 8. I concede. If there's a chance, let's drink together. Yang Feng glanced at the 7 Infinity Warlocks and said with a smile, do you still want to swap pointers with me? The white-haired Infinity Warlock smiled and said, no need. We are on par with the Lightning Devil in terms of strength. Since you can easily defeat him, you can easily defeat us as well. The monarch chose to protect you, we are convinced. The other 6 Infinity Warlocks nodded slightly, and their eyes shimmered with approval. Among warlocks, the strong are respected. The second Warlock dynasty, the Taboo dynasty, exerted this law to the limit. Only a true supreme powerhouse can subdue countless bloodline warlocks and sit firmly on the throne. After the Taboo Lord died, the Taboo dynasty collapsed immediately. The most important reason for this is that apart from the Taboo Lord, no one can subdue the great Holy Steppe warlocks of the Taboo dynasty. The Taboo monarch's beautiful eyes flashed with an enigmatic gleam, and she revealed a sweet smile, essence of devour. Interesting, no one has really reached the end of this essence. This little fellow may really have a chance to promote to a warlock emperor rank powerhouse in the future. No wonder he looks at him in a different light. After defeating the Lightning Devil, Yang Feng gained the approval of the other Infinity Warlocks of the Taboo dynasty. Under the hospitality of the Taboo monarch, he stayed to drink with the Lightning Devil and the other Infinity Warlocks and discuss many questions and mysteries regarding cultivation. He didn't leave until the next day. The Zhangji Plains surface world. In a barren desert with no signs of life 1,000 kilometers in radius. With a flash of black light, Yang Feng appeared in the sky above the desert. Yang Feng glanced at the desert, an enigmatic ray flashed in his eyes, and he said with a smile, who would have thought that this place without any signs of life and unsuitable for cultivation would be the entrance to the core world. Yang Feng's figure fluttered, and he cast a spell and fell into the desert. Like a ghost, he merged with the desert and snuck underground. After moving stealthily for about 10,000 kilometers, Yang Feng took out the gold token and squeezed it. Gold light flew out of the gold token and formed a gold vortex that swallowed Yang Feng. Chapter 830. The space distorted, and in the blink of an eye, Yang Feng appeared in a vast world full of spiritual qi. So this is the core world. The life magic energy here is so rich. The concentration of life magic energy in this world is 10 times that of the Zhangji Plains surface world. No wonder the true powerhouses among human warlocks are here. Yang Feng scanned the world with his tremendous soul force and analyzed the surrounding environment, and his eyes flashed with an enigmatic gleam. Different environments can accommodate different existences. For example, a pond can't accommodate a flood dragon. A grade 9 plane can only give birth to legend-rank powerhouses. The core world is attached to the Zhangji plane, which is equivalent to an extension of the Zhangji plane. The laws of heaven and earth here are the same as those of the Zhangji plane, and the life magic energy here is more than 10 times stronger than that of the Zhangji plane. The core world is the true essence of the Zhangji plane. Of course, once the devouring between the two universes begins, the Zhangji plane's origin will begin to give birth to all kinds of powerhouses. At that time, the Zhangji plane's surface world will replace the core world and become a supreme holy land for cultivation. Yang Feng looked up, and his eyes shimmered with admiration. The sun, the moon, and the stars are everywhere, just like a real world. Amazing! In the core world, there are stars and the sun hanging in the sky. At first glance, there is no difference between this and the Zhangji plane. However, when Yang Feng operated the transcendent pupils, he saw that the stars in the sky are engraved with countless mysterious runes, which form an integrated defense system with the core world. Once there is any abnormality in the core world, the warlock groups that control the entire core world's defense system can mobilize countless star force and bombard the source of the abnormality. Yang Feng pointed with a finger, and dense purple smoke revolved and formed an arrowhead pointing in a certain direction. A cool breeze blew by and Yang Feng turned into a breeze and disappeared. A few days later, Yang Feng sat on the deck of a luxurious flying vessel. Basking in the sun, he casually held a sparkling and translucent wine glass in his hand and looked at a magic image crystal no different from a TV. Insect demon Li Jiang went to challenge the Black Moon Dragon Zhou Ming. In the 5th minute, Zhou Ming, who had transformed into a Black Moon Dragon, tore off one of his arms. He suffered a crushing defeat at the hands of the Black Moon Dragon. The Eye of the Black Spirit has discovered a new magic crystal vein, and is applying to King Taishan to develop it. In the magic image crystal, beautiful female broadcasters with incomparable looks were explaining the news one after another. In the core world, the magic civilization had developed to its peak, and many spells had been adapted for civilian use. In the core world, a magic stone could not even be exchanged for a magic coin. The purchasing power of one magic coin was only equivalent to 1 yuan on Earth. Yang Feng carefully looked at the news, and the corners of his mouth rose into a smile. Most of the news is about starry sky warlocks and moonlight warlocks and above, which only appear under special circumstances. Sure enough, fiend god powerhouses also possess great authority in the core world. Moonlight warlocks were god-fiend rank powerhouses. Moonlight warlocks were god-fiend rank powerhouses. Each one of them could suppress a grade 7 plane or below. At the same time, many large top-notch joint secret treasures required moonlight warlocks and above as the main force. Therefore, no matter in which force, moonlight warlocks and above had a great status. Of course, there were also some powerful god-fiend rank warlocks who liked to show their divinity in front of the masses, and they often appeared in the news. "Aren't you going to buy me a drink?" A beautiful blonde warlock with a fiery and sexy figure and an extremely flirtatious appearance walked over gracefully, exuding a fragrance, and sat down in front of Yang Feng's table. She revealed a charming and beautiful smile. After Yang Feng advanced to an infinity warlock, his life stage underwent an earth-shaking evolution. Although he had concealed his strength and incomparably terrifying life force, he still exuded an extraordinary aura. This was a great attraction to many beautiful warlocks. Yang Feng smiled slightly and snapped his fingers. A wind sprite formed from wind elemental particles flew up, picked up a bottle of wine, opened it, and poured wine for the beautiful warlock with a sexy figure and flirtatious appearance. "Good wine, this is the highest grade of dark night flowing gold. Each bottle of this kind of wine costs more than 10 million magic coins. It's really delicious." The beautiful warlock took a sip of the wine, and her beautiful eyes shone brightly at once, and she said with a sweet smile, "Hello, I am Mary, a professor of Purple Hyacinth. Nice to meet you." Yang Feng replied with a smile, "Hello, my name is Yang Feng. It's nice to meet a beautiful woman like you." Yang Feng doesn't have a mature intelligence system in the core world, so he knows almost nothing about this world. He doesn't know what kind of organization Purple Hyacinth is. "Mary, I've been looking for you for a long time. Why are you here? And why are you with this kind of person?" A tall, handsome male warlock dressed in a purple warlock robe walked over from the other side of the flying vessel. He had an extraordinary temperament, yet there was a very annoying arrogance on his face. He swept Yang Feng with a glance, and his eyes flashed with disdain and contempt. Yang Feng glanced at the arrogant male warlock and saw at a glance that the male warlock has a moonlight warlock rank cultivation base. The male warlock and Mary are the only 2 moonlight warlocks on the flying vessel, so it is normal for him to be arrogant. Once you enter the moonlight warlock realm, you are a transcendent. Moonlight warlocks are fundamentally different from ordinary warlocks in terms of life level. In the view of many moonlight warlocks, those below the moonlight warlock rank cannot communicate with them on an equal footing, just like humans cannot communicate with gorillas. Mary frowned slightly and spoke with a trace of impatience. "Song Zibai, it's my business who I want to make friends with. Between you and I, we are just ordinary friends." Song Zibai's gaze shifted, fell on Yang Feng, and he said with a cold smile, "Your name is Yang Feng. Mary is not an existence that ordinary people like you can aspire to. There is an essential difference between you and her. I advise you to be sensible, or else I don't mind giving you an unforgettable lesson." Song Zibai, enough. Mary frowned, barked, stood up from her seat, and said to Yang Feng with an apologetic expression, "I'm sorry, Yang Feng. This matter arose because of me, so I will take care of it perfectly." Suddenly, a series of silver bell-like sounds rang out in the sky. A 10,000-meter-long golden ship slowly flew over. It was engraved with profound runes and gave off a resplendent light. The Rich's Gold Ship. It's the Rich's Gold King's ship. That's the Rich's Gold King. We're really lucky to meet the Rich's Gold King. Suddenly sounds of excitement came from the huge flying vessel. Many human warlocks looked at the gold treasure ship in the distance and revealed excited smiles. Yang Feng asked curiously, "The Rich's Gold King? Who is he?" Mary looked at the golden ship with an enigmatic gleam in her beautiful eyes, filled with passion and desire. The Rich's Gold King is a bigwig above the Bright World Warlock rank. No one knows how high his cultivation base is. Legend has it that he has endless wealth and power. As long as you can board the Rich's Gold King's golden ship, he can satisfy any wish you have. When Yang Feng heard this, he said with a smile, "Any wish can be satisfied. Even Warlock Emperor rank powerhouses can't do that. Even if it is a Warlock Emperor rank powerhouse, there are many things they can do nothing about. Becoming an Eternal is the dream of all Warlock Emperors, as well as their only goal. Unfortunately, from ancient times to the present, except for the era of Eternal Sovereigns, countless peerless geniuses have emerged, defeated the powerhouses of that era, suppressed an era, and become invincible, yet they still couldn't become Eternal Sovereigns. It's not that those peerless geniuses aren't talented, but that the energy level of the universe has been reduced. The universe can only give birth to Warlock Emperor rank existences. No matter how hard they try, they can't promote to Eternal Sovereigns. When Yang Feng heard that the Rich's Gold King can satisfy anyone's wish, he found it ridiculous. Mary said meaningfully, "The Rich's Gold King naturally can't compare to the 8 Warlock Emperors. But as a Bright World Warlock rank existence, he may even be an Infinity Warlock. For us, he has the ability to satisfy any wish we have." Yang Feng pondered for a while, and then nodded slightly, agreeing with Mary's point of view. A Bright World Warlock rank powerhouse can satisfy most of the wishes of these existences below the Moonlight Warlock rank. The wealth of a Bright World Warlock rank powerhouse is far beyond the imagination of Moonlight Warlocks. Why are you talking so much nonsense with him? Let's go. Let's board the ship. The Rich's Gold King only selects 100 guests at a time. If we're late, it'll be too late. Song Zibai said angrily, then manipulated the airflow and strode towards the Rich's Gold ship. Mary's eyes flickered, and she also strode towards the Rich's Gold ship. Interesting. Yang Feng smiled and also flew towards the Rich's Gold ship. After dozens of breaths of time, all the warlocks on the flying vessel flew out, surrounded the Rich's Gold ship, and looked longingly at the ship. Gold light shone, and 8 gold bridges extended from the Rich's Gold ship. On each of the 8 gold bridges, there is a beautiful woman with extraordinary temperament. Chapter 831. This guy is even more imposing than me. However, although these 8 girls are beautiful, but they are still far from being comparable to my Eunice, Wu Meiying and Liana. Not to mention Schwer. Yang Feng glanced at the 8 beautiful girls and saw at a glance that they have Moonlight Warlock rank cultivation bases. After a slight comparison, he showed a satisfied smile. A beautiful warlock in red, with a slender figure and a beautiful appearance, said flatly, "Since you are here, you should be aware of the rules of my lord. These are 100 fortune golden balls. Those who are hit by these fortune golden balls will be able to board my lord's fortune golden boat. If they can pass my lord's test, my lord will grant them one wish to the best of his ability." The 8 young ladies waved their hands, and golden balls of riches and honor descended from the sky. They transformed into rays of golden light that fell down at random. "Mine! That's mine!" Scram! Do you want to die? When the warlocks saw the gold balls falling from the sky, their eyes turned bloodshot, and they cast various spells to grab the gold balls. Shouts of abuse rang incessantly. As if they have a mind of their own, the gold balls easily passed through one spell after another and landed on the warlocks. With a flash of gold light, the warlock hit by the wealth gold ball disappeared and was teleported to the wealth gold ship. Yang Feng operated the fate algorithm, and a thread of fate wound around a gold ball. When the wealth gold ball landed on Yang Feng, gold light flickered, and he disappeared and reappeared on a banquet chair. Yang Feng looked around and saw that he is in a beautiful and luxurious palace. The palace is inlaid with all kinds of rare treasures, and engraved with countless mysterious runes. There is a slight resonance between the countless rare treasures, which extracts the surrounding life magic energy and makes the life magic energy in the palace 100 times richer than in the outside world. If an ordinary warlock cultivates in this palace for a day, they will absorb life magic energy equivalent to 100 days of cultivation in the outside world. On the throne of the palace, there is a young man dressed in a gold robe of medium build, with a wide face and big ears, and a smiling expression on his face. Even though he didn't speak, but from where he is sitting, Yang Feng can vaguely guess that he is most likely the legendary Wealth Gold King. Below the Wealth Gold King, there were 100 sets of tables and chairs. Each set of tables and chairs was made of purple chalcedony essence and top-notch alchemy. Purple radiant jade pith essence was an extremely precious treasure. Being in contact with purple radiant jade pith essence all year round could even improve a warlock's soul aptitude. Purple chalcedony essence. This is purple light chalcedony essence. Tables and chairs made of purple light chalcedony essence are truly extravagant. As expected of the Wealth King. The last time I saw a fist-sized piece of purple chalcedony essence at the auction, it was worth more than 1 billion magic coins. So much purple jade essence, 10 billion, no, at least 100 billion magic coins. Magic coins? Such a large piece of purple radiant jade essence was already a peerless treasure, a priceless treasure. It can only be traded, or use the best soulstone to trade. On the 100 sets of tables and chairs, there are already warlocks who have been selected. The warlocks are stroking the tables and chairs refined from purple light jade essence, and looking at the surroundings with shock in their eyes. Shocked by the extravagance of the Wealth Gold King, they commented animatedly. Song Zibai swept Yang Feng with his gaze, and his eyes shimmered with disgust. Why is that kid here? What a lucky bastard. Mary glanced at Yang Feng and revealed a trace of a smile. His luck is really good. Yang Feng's eyes lit up and flickered with excitement. The Wealth Gold King deserves his reputation. He has a lot of treasures. If the Wealth Gold ship is dismantled, I can refine at least 30 top-grade warp gates. Warp gates are one of the top technologies in the world of warlocks in Yang Feng's possession. Through top-grade warp gates, Yang Feng can freely shuttle between different planes. At the same time, he can also mobilize a large number of troops through warp gates. In the world of warlocks, there are teleportation devices such as teleportation arrays and planar passageways that can cross countless distances. However, compared to the top-grade warp gates of the Shizu, they are still much worse. That was because the development direction of the Shizu was the endless sea of stars. In the universe where the Shizu existed, the distance between stars was calculated in light years. Moreover, there was no astral boundary, which was a channel connecting the various universes in countless planes of stars. Without the warp gates, the Shizu would not be able to control their territory. The world of warlocks focuses on self-development. Most warlocks are more willing to improve their strength and make their cultivation base stronger. After teleportation arrays and planar passageways can achieve their goals, very few warlocks will continue to research in this direction. Without demand, there is no motivation. Therefore, compared to the Shizu, the warlock skills in this regard were a lot worse. Among the Shizu's warp gate system, top-grade warp gates can freely shuttle through the endless space. They are indispensable. For Yang Feng, the 30 top-grade warp gates are a very tempting resource. The young man with a broad face, big ears, and a noble expression sitting on the throne said with a light smile, "Ladies and gentlemen, I am the Wealth Gold King." The Wealth Gold King's voice is not loud, but it suppressed the clamor in the hall. Under the shroud of a mysterious force, the warlocks who originally wanted to continue asking questions unconsciously became quiet. The Wealth Gold King smiled and clapped his hands. Waves of fragrant wind appeared, and within that fragrant wind floated many beautiful flower fairies with snow-white skin. The beautiful flower sprites carrying plates of precious extraordinary fruits and jugs of delicious extraordinary wine landed on the tables. Before long, a variety of delicious food and wine appeared in front of the warlocks' tables. The Wealth Gold King uttered with a light smile, "Please enjoy." The delicious food and wine are rare treasures for warlocks, which can improve their soul aptitude, spirit force, and physique. Therefore, the warlocks didn't stand on ceremony and enjoyed the delicacies in front of them. With delicacies, how can there be no beautiful music and dance? The Wealth Gold King clapped his hands. All of a sudden, vines extended from the gold pillars, and palm-sized flowers bloomed in the center of the vines. Among the flowers, there are little people holding various musical instruments, and melodious music spread from the instruments of the little people, cleansing the minds of many warlocks. When Yang Feng heard the music, he relaxed both physically and mentally. Even though he has no attainments in music, but he is still attracted by the beautiful music, and his mind is sublimated. After relaxing for just a moment, Yang Feng regained his sobriety and vigilance, and he praised in his heart, "Music elves. The Wealth Gold King really knows how to enjoy himself." Music elves are a branch of elves. They have extraordinary talent for manipulating musical instruments and playing all kinds of beautiful music. Although their music has no killing power, but it can purify the mind of warlocks and give them a high-quality rest. As a result, they were captured in large numbers by human warlocks. Due to the indiscriminate hunting of human warlocks all year round, music elves have virtually disappeared from the Zhangji Plain. Only in the Sandra Plain, the birthplace of elves, can there be some music elves. Even Yang Feng doesn't have top-notch musicians like the music elves. Amidst the wonderful music, 18 beautiful warlocks dressed in muslin appeared in the center of the hall and danced gracefully amidst the wonderful music. Many warlocks stared at the center of the hall with greed in their eyes. After the song and dance, the music elves and beautiful warlocks retreated one by one. "Everyone, it's time for the test. I, the Wealth Gold King, have traveled the world, learned from ancient times to modern times, and mastered countless methods. Moreover, I have cultivated countless beautiful maids, who have mastered some of my abilities. If you defeat my maids with your strongest ability, then for every maids of a rank you defeat, I will fulfill a wish of the corresponding rank. Of course, if someone can defeat me, then the Wealth Gold ship will be given to the person who defeats me. However, each of you only has one chance to challenge me. Think about it carefully." The Wealth Gold King looked at the many warlocks below, raised the corners of his mouth and clapped his hands. One after another, beautiful warlocks poured in from the two plates. The beautiful warlocks wore a piece of paper on their chest marked with the words Great Warlock, Starry Sky Warlock, Moonlight Warlock, Glorious Sun Warlock, and Bright World Warlock. Among them, there are a total of 36 Moonlight Warlocks, 10 Glorious Sun Warlocks, and 3 Bright World Warlocks. This shows the terrifying underlying strength of the Wealth Gold King. When they heard this, the eyes of the warlocks present turned bloodshot, and their eyes flickered with excitement and scorching heat. Many warlocks focused their gazes on the beautiful warlocks, and their eyes flickered with scorching heat. For ordinary warlocks, once they can become the master of these beautiful warlocks, they can struggle for at least 1,000 years. Since we are both warlocks, we naturally compete in spells. Yang Feng smiled, and wisps of infinity warlock rank fluctuations of power slowly spread from him. This is an infinity warlock. He's also an infinity warlock. Infinity warlock. When the guests sensed the fluctuations of power coming from Yang Feng, their countenance changed dramatically, and they exclaimed, "Infinity warlock! He's actually an infinity warlock. Just now, I actually threatened an infinity warlock. An ancestor step existence." Song Zibai's face suddenly turned pale, his body trembled, his hands turned cold, and his back broke out in a cold sweat. Infinity warlocks are terrifying existences who can destroy a plane by themselves. If an infinity warlock cast a spell with all their strength, they can destroy a grade 9 plane. Even in the core world, a place where powerhouses are as common as clouds, infinity warlocks are exceedingly fearsome, elusive existences. Although Song Zibai is a true disciple of the Cave Mountain, but he has never seen an infinity warlock. The Wealth Gold King is the first infinity warlock he has seen. Mary looked at Yang Feng with a look of pleasant surprise on her pretty face. He's actually an infinity warlock. When the Wealth Gold King sensed the infinity warlock rank fluctuations of power coming from Yang Feng, the smile on his face disappeared, and his eyes shimmered with a dignified shade. For the first time, he looked Yang Feng in the eye and asked unhurriedly, Sir, how do I address you? Yang Feng replied flatly. You can call me Endless Darkness. Infinity Warlocks generally call each other by their nicknames. The frequency of their real names will decrease until they are submerged in history with the passage of time. Naturally, the Wealth Gold King's real name isn't the Wealth Gold King. But after countless years, those who know his real name are almost all dead. Over time he became the Wealth Gold King. The Wealth Gold King uttered with a smile, Endless Darkness, this treasure ship can't withstand our fight. Let's go out and fight. The Wealth Gold ship is a very powerful treasure ship. However, this treasure ship is not the royal palace where the taboo monarch lives. It can't withstand a fight between Infinity Warlock rank powerhouses. Okay. Yang Feng's body collapsed, turned into smoke, and disappeared from the Wealth Gold ship. The Wealth Gold King collapsed as well and disappeared. A fight between Infinity Warlocks. If I could see a fight between Infinity Warlocks, I wouldn't have lived my life in vain. The eyes of the guests aboard the Wealth Gold ship shimmered with excitement, and they got up and walked towards the deck of the Wealth Gold ship. The maids aboard the Wealth Gold ship entered the Warlock Towers and opened the barrier around the Wealth Gold ship. The three concubines Ri, Yu, and Xing also came to the deck and looked into the distance at Yang Feng, and the Wealth Gold King standing proudly in the void with worry in their beautiful eyes. Chapter 833. There was a flash of excitement in the Wealth Gold King's eyes, and he said with a smile, It's been 500 years, I haven't swapped pointers with an Infinity Warlock for 500 years. Endless Darkness, let's stop here and not involve life and death, what do you think? If there is no accident, every Infinity Warlock can live for more than 10,000 years. If there is no conflict of interest or enmity, then Infinity Warlocks generally won't fight to the death. The core world is extremely safe. There are many Infinity Warlocks like the Wealth Gold King, who haven't fought a powerhouse of the same level for 500 years. Yang Feng responded with a smile. That's only natural. Although every Infinity Warlock is a mobile treasury, but if they aren't an enemy, Yang Feng won't kill them easily for no reason. Look at the power of my gold treasury. The Wealth Gold King smiled boldly, silently recited an incantation, and pointed at the sky. A 100-meter-tall golden gate suddenly appeared, opened, and a sword flew out of the gate and slashed down. The sword split the sky, annihilated everything and crushed the world. All kinds of fearsome anomalies flickered in the sky and crushed towards Yang Feng. What a terrifying sword strike. Just looking at it from afar, I feel like my soul is about to collapse. What a terrifying sword strike. If it wasn't for the barrier blocking it, I would already be dead. When the warlocks aboard the Wealth Gold ship saw the terrifying sword strike from afar, they suddenly felt a splitting headache and almost collapsed. If it wasn't for the fearsome barrier activated on the gold ship, then at least half of the warlocks on the ship would have died when the sword strike appeared. Song Zibai looked at the earth-shaking sword strike with shock in his eyes. Amazing. That's an Infinity Warlock. That's terrifying. That Endless Darkness is dead meat. Faced with the peerless sword strike that split the sky and shattered the world, Yang Feng just extended his right hand and made a grasping motion, and a black light of devour suddenly appeared in his right hand. As if a black hole that can devour everything, it absorbed the peerless sword strike that split the sky and shattered the world, twisted it into fragments, and turned it into pure energy that nourished his fleshly body. There was a flash of surprise in the Wealth Gold King's eyes, and he uttered in a clear voice, Amazing, what spell is this? How can it break the attack of my level 9 secret treasure sky splitter sword so easily? Yang Feng replied flatly, This is a spell I created, Dark Light Erosion. It can break any spell in the world. Break any spell in the world, what big words. Let me see if this spell can break any spell in the world. The Wealth Gold King chuckled and flicked his finger, and the level 9 secret treasure heaven-splitting sword retracted into the gold treasury. Gold light shone, and an ancient bronze mirror suddenly flew out from the gold treasury. As soon as the ancient bronze mirror flew out, the countless mysterious runes engraved on it suddenly shone with dazzling light. The runes engraved on the mysterious runes engraved on the bronze mirror suddenly shone. One after another, strange evil gods with different shapes and different evil god powers flew out from the million evil god diagram. A copious amount of divine force shot out from the evil gods barreling towards Yang Feng. In an instant, a sinister wind blew within a radius of 100 miles, and evil energy surged. All sorts of heretical god forces erupted, distorting the laws between the heavens and earth. Evil energy filled the air, distorting all phenomena. Each evil god has a different evil god force. The evil god force stimulated by the countless evil gods in the evil god drawing can seriously injure, or even obliterate an infinity warlock. The guests on the golden ship looked at the sky filled with evil gods. If a warlock wants to practice cultivation from an ordinary human to an infinity warlock, they are bound to have a wonderful life. At the same time, they are bound to have vast connections and their own information and intelligence channels. Even rogue warlocks will find a way to build their own intelligence channels. Yang Feng has already begun to build his own intelligence system in the Zhangji Plain. Countless spies have spread throughout the Zhangji Plain to search for information for him. No major movements in the Zhangji Plain can escape his eyes and ears. However, as Yang Feng has just arrived at the core world, he knows almost nothing about it. Therefore, he is very interested in the information the Wealth Gold King has. The Wealth Gold King smiled heartily and spoke with some affection. I, the Wealth Gold King, have vast connections and many friends in the core world. The information in my hands won't let you down. The Wealth Gold ship is very valuable, and there are many treasures inside. Even the Wealth Gold King had to search for a long time to obtain them. Moreover, the Moonlight Warlock rank maids and above on the ship are not easy to cultivate. They are extremely valuable. Yang Feng doesn't want the Wealth Gold ship. Although the Wealth Gold King didn't say anything, but he is somewhat grateful inside. The Wealth Gold King glanced at the many guests on the deck and ordered them to leave. Everyone, that's all for today's reception. You can go back now. Thank you for your hospitality, Wealth Gold King. Thank you for your hospitality. The guests, who have benefited greatly from the top-notch extraordinary food and extraordinary wine, saluted the Wealth Gold King, cast various spells and flew away. The guests are well aware that although the Wealth Gold King has received them warmly, however, only infinity warlocks of the same level can befriend the Wealth Gold King. Song Zibai took a deep look at Yang Feng standing next to the Wealth Gold King. He doesn't dare to feel any jealousy. Ignoring Mary, who he has been pursuing, he cast a spell and flew away. Infinity warlocks have all kinds of strange personalities. Some are kind and peaceful, while others like the Wealth Gold King like to play games. But most of them are the kind of cruel characters who will kill people if there is a disagreement. Song Zibai is not willing to put his life in Yang Feng's hands. Mary took a deep look at Yang Feng, then cast a spell and flew away. The Wealth Gold King asked with a smile, "That chick has a good impression of you. Aren't you going to keep her?" Yang Feng replied flatly, "No need. It may not be a good thing to follow me. I have no foundation in the core world. If I provoke any trouble, it will only implicate her." In the Zhangji Plain, Yang Feng's power is so great that even infinity warlocks don't dare to attack his people. Otherwise, they will be hunted down. In the core world, Yang Feng is a loner. Although he can move freely, but he has lost the ability to protect others. The Wealth Gold King replied frankly, "As long as you don't provoke Supreme Infinity Warlock rank powerhouses, the 6 Warlock Imperial Courts, and freaks of the Warlock Monarchs, I can help you resist some ordinary troubles. I seem to have provoked a Warlock Monarch called the Red Monarch." Yang Feng raised his eyebrows but didn't say anything. Instead, he smiled and followed the Wealth Gold King into the gold ship. The location of the Black Emperor's treasure trove is on the edge of the Red Monarch's territory. What a malicious joke. Aboard the gold ship, Yang Feng flipped through all kinds of intelligence, frowned and sank into his thoughts. Chapter 835. To advance to a Warlock Monarch by devouring 3,000 Infinity Warlocks. This secret method is already very heaven-defying. It should be noted that Poital, the former floor lord of the 666th floor of the Abyss, has been trapped in the Infinity Warlock realm for more than 100,000 years. If killing 3,000 Infinity Warlocks can promote to a Warlock Monarch rank existence, then he will use all his power to hunt down Infinity Warlock rank powerhouses. In the vast universe there are as many experts as there are clouds. The number of human Infinity Warlocks in the Zhangji Plain alone has already exceeded 5,000. As long as Poital is given enough time, he can devour enough Infinity Warlock rank powerhouses to advance to a Warlock Monarch. This dagger is also a level 9 secret treasure, but it's still slightly inferior to the ruler of the Knight's God armament dagger of the Night. Otherwise, I'm afraid that both sides would suffer. A mere junior Infinity Warlock put me in such a difficult position. Sure enough, no Infinity Warlock can be underestimated. Yang Feng beckoned with his hand, and the dagger that the Warlock used to assassinate him flew into his hand. He scanned the dagger with his soul force, and his eyes shimmered with apprehension. The Infinity Warlock who assassinated Yang Feng just now only had junior Infinity Warlock rank cultivation base. If it was a head-on fight, Yang Feng would be able to blast the junior Infinity Warlock assassin into dregs with a few spells. But the junior Infinity Warlock assassin suddenly erupted with power just now. If Yang Feng hadn't cultivated the primal chaos imperishable body and strengthened his fleshly body with the light of eternity, then once he was stabbed by the assassin, the curse and poison contained in the dagger would be something that even someone as strong as Yang Feng may not be able to suppress. Someone is coming. All of a sudden, Yang Feng's body distorted, and he turned into the Infinity Warlock assassin. With a dagger in hand, he looked into the distance with a vigilant expression. Shadowkill, what happened here just now? I sensed that you erupted with Infinity Warlock rank power. A beautiful warlock wearing a red dress walked over with a sweet smile on her face. Her voice was like that of an oriole in an empty valley. Her appearance was extremely beautiful, and she had a sweet smile on her face. Yang Feng imitated the voice of the Infinity Warlock assassin and said, "There was an insect that I killed just now." A young man dressed in a black warlock robe with a strange giant snake embroidered on the warlock robe, with snake hair growing on his head, and an ugly appearance looking like a humanoid snake monster, walked over from the side and said coldly, "Shadowkiller, be careful." This was the treasure of the legendary Black Emperor, who had suppressed countless planes during the ancient god era. If we're exposed and attract those monsters on the sea list, we won't even get a bone dregs. Yang Feng was slightly startled, and killing intent welled up inside him. The Black Emperor's treasure trove? They actually know about the Black Emperor's treasure trove. The Black Emperor's treasure trove is the treasure trove of a Warlock Emperor rank powerhouse. For Yang Feng, if he can get his hands on it, it will be a huge fortune. He wasn't willing to share this treasure with anyone. Since he has the strength to get his hands on the treasure trove, an ambitious and ruthless person like Yang Feng would make a choice. The beautiful eyes of the beautiful warlock in red turned slightly, and she said, "The three of us are here. Now we're still missing the red mountain bone monster, the petrol feathers, and the transcendent eyes." "I'm here." A red skeleton walked out of the demonic mist and spoke in a hoarse voice. The red skeleton was 3 meters tall, and it was completely made up of different red bones. It was like a mutated version of a skeleton demon. "I'm not late, am I?" Along with a chuckle, feathers of an unknown extraordinary bird drifted over from afar, interwove with each other, and formed a handsome young man with a medium build. The void slightly distorted, and a half-naked man wearing a pair of shorts with his eyes tightly closed walked out of the void. Most of his body was exposed, and there were creepy and strange eyes on his body that made people's hair stand on end. As soon as Yang Feng saw the 5 Infinity Warlocks appear, he hid his killing intent, and silently operated a secret method, and his aura and sense of existence became extremely thin. Making your aura and sense of existence become extremely thin is a secret method that assassin-type warlocks must master. Otherwise, the Shadowkill wouldn't have been able to hide from Yang Feng's perception, and almost succeeded in assassinating Yang Feng. The petrol feathers uttered with a smile, "Everyone is here. With the 6 of us joining forces, we can even fight experts on the Infinity list as long as they aren't monsters in the top 50. Red Moon Fairy, let's begin." The beautiful warlock in red nodded, took out a round bead, and tossed it into the air. As soon as the round bead flew into the air, It expanded against the wind and turned into a 100-meter-long extraordinary life-form realm-crossing insect engraved with countless runes. The realm-crossing insect was a very strange kind of transcendent demon insect. It liked to dig holes in the barriers between worlds and open up a passageway between worlds. Human warlocks use realm-crossing insects to open planar passageways to many planes. The realm-crossing insect pounced on the cave halfway up the cliff, opened its ferocious mouthpart and bit wildly. A strange bottomless hole appeared in the void, and it was filled with the power of distortion. The world passageway opened by the realm-crossing insect is chaotic and twisted. Only powerhouses above the Moonlight Warlock rank can enter it. Once existences below the Moonlight Warlock rank enter the world passageway, they will be twisted and turned into a pile of minced meat. With flashes of magic light, the 5 Infinity Warlocks turned into streams of light and entered the world passageway. Yang Feng also operated a secret method, turned into a shadow, and entered the world passageway. Within a few breaths of time, Yang Feng passed through the world passageway and appeared in a wide, bright world with no end in sight. The Red Moon Fairy extended her hand, and red threads shot towards the realm-crossing insect in the sky and swept it up. When the red threads pierced the realm-crossing insect, the berserk realm-crossing insect quieted down, shrank, and finally flew into the Red Moon Fairy's hand. Extraordinary insects like realm-crossing insects are not easy to cultivate. Generally, only warlock groups such as the Great Cloud Dynasty and the Western world's 3 dynasties have enough time and resources to cultivate them. The other was an ancient god with 2 heads, one with its eyes closed and the other with its eyes open. Chapter 836. The three-eyed archgod frowned and asked unhurriedly, "The demonic eye tribe is getting more and more rampant. They killed Beishan and Tuogui. High priest, what should we do now?" The 2-headed archgod barked, "But you know we can't retreat. We must fight back. Gather all our forces, destroy them, kill them, and use their bones and flesh to let all those who resist the Flame Law tribe know the consequences of resisting us." A trifling ordinary archgod tribe has 2 Infinity Warlock rank archgods. Archgods are indeed fearsome existences that suppress countless intelligent life forms. A slightly emotional voice sounded. The eyes of the 3-eyed archgod and the 2-headed archgod blurred. And then Yang Feng suddenly appeared in their line of sight. Die! The eyes of the 3-eyed archgod shimmered fiercely, his muscles bulged, his fleshly body surged to the extreme, and he shot towards Yang Feng, followed by afterimages that are difficult to see with the naked eye. Boom! Yang Feng grabbed the 3-eyed archgod's right hand and held it as steady as a mountain. A fearsome explosion reverberated in the room and set off shock waves. Originally, the physique of archgods is far superior to that of human warlocks of the same rank. But Yang Feng cultivates the Empyrean grade secret method Primal Chaos Imperishable, and obtained the eternal god tree light of eternity fruit to temper his fleshly body. The strength of his fleshly body is even superior to that of ordinary archgods. Yang Feng grabbed the right hand of the 3-eyed archgod Bajuno and twisted it. The 3-eyed archgod Bajuno suddenly slammed into the ground, produced an earth-shattering noise, and spewed out a large mouthful of blood. "You're courting death." Bajuno's eyes shimmered with a ferocious ray, and the power of bloodline inside him boiled. He wanted to open the closed third eye and unleash his innate ability Void Demon Eye to kill Yang Feng in one fell swoop. The Void Demon Eye is a terrifying innate ability of the Bajuno family. Even if it is a Supreme Infinity Warlock rank powerhouse, without the corresponding spells and secret treasures to protect themselves, they will be seriously injured or even killed by the Void Demon Eye. This is Bajuno's trump card. You rely too much on innate spells. His fighting style is too obvious and crude. Yang Feng's voice was flat, and black runes diffused from him and turned into a rune net that stabbed into Bajuno. Bajuno suddenly felt the bloodline power inside him recede like a tide, and he could no longer keep his demon eye of insightful emptiness open. He fell into a state of drowsiness, as if he could fall asleep at any time. Bajuno possesses intermediate Infinity Warlock rank power. Unfortunately, his fighting style is simple and crude, which cannot compare to the exquisite spells and secret treasures of human warlocks. Thus he was easily suppressed by Yang Feng. The high priest of the Flame Law tribe looked at Yang Feng with fear in his eyes and asked vigilantly, "I am the high priest of the Flame Law tribe, Shang Qingpu. Who are you?" Yang Feng answered, "I am Endless Darkness. I came here to ask you something." Shan Qingpu asked warily, "What is it?" Yang Feng answered, "When you practice cultivation, in which direction is the bloodline power inside you most active?" When archgod powerhouses practice cultivation, they mainly cultivate their bloodline power and develop it to the limit. According to legend, if the bloodline power of any archgod is purified and traced back to the limit, they can evolve into a Holy Spirit warlock rank existence. As for going a step further and becoming a warlock emperor rank existence, it will depend on one's luck and effort. Shang Qingpu's eyes shimmered with confusion, and he asked, "Practice cultivation? What's that?" Yang Feng said with emotion, "You don't even know what cultivation is. Yet you can evolve to this point just by relying on innate skills and bloodline power. That's an archgod for you." In the Zhangji Plain, human warlocks racked their brains and developed virtually endless secret methods. However, more than 99% of human warlocks are stuck in the Moonlight Warlock realm. As long as these archgods reach adulthood, they will possess Moonlight Warlock rank power. The best among them don't even need to practice cultivation to become Infinity Warlock rank existences. Such freaks naturally possess the power to dominate the world. Yang Feng glanced at the two archgods and his heart stirred. These two archgods can naturally evolve into Infinity Warlock rank existences without any cultivation secret methods. If they are given the corresponding cultivation methods and resources, they may even evolve into Warlock Monarch rank existences in the future. Tracing back to their origins, human warlocks' cultivation secret methods originate from the secret methods created by archgods. Over the years, human warlocks have collected many secret methods of archgod cultivation. Most of these secret methods have been sealed as materials for studying archgods, so they are not secrets. Yang Feng has many archgod cultivation secret methods in his hands, but if one doesn't have the corresponding bloodline power, they are useless to human warlocks. Yang Feng asked, "Every time your bloodline throbs and transforms, in which direction will the bloodline throb?" Empyrean origin force is equivalent to a world origin force in the Black Emperor realm. It is the source of all extraordinary forces. For archgods to evolve into Infinity Warlock rank powerhouses, they have absorbed world origin force. Shan Qingpu's eyes shimmered with coldness, and he asked coldly, "Why should I tell you?" Yang Feng replied flatly, "Because I'm stronger than you." The phantom ruler's projection suddenly appeared behind Yang Feng, and transparent threads stabbed into Shan Qingpu's body. Shan Qingpu's two heads fell into a daze. Shan Qingpu's eyes revealed endless confusion, and he uttered, "When our bloodline throbs and transforms, the bloodline power throbs in the direction of the Holy Pulse Mountain." Yang Feng asked, "Which direction?" Shan Qingpu clearly doesn't know the difference between north, south, east, and west. He pointed to the southeast and said, "This direction." Yang Feng flicked his finger, and runes entered Shan Qingpu and Bajuno. A cool breeze blew past and Yang Feng disappeared from where he stood. Shan Qingpu came back to his senses. When he thought of what he just did, a chill welled up inside him. What a fearsome guy, what a terrifying method. Bajuno got up from the ground, and fear shimmered in his eyes. Amazing. Who is that guy? Even the number one expert of the Demon Eye tribe, Demon Eye Stoneheart, may not be his opponent. Demon Eye Stoneheart is the number one expert in this area, and he is far stronger than Bajuno and Shan Qingpu. Chapter 837. A scale in Yang Feng's hand suddenly heated up, and strange light diffused from it. In the distance, rays of light flew this way. The Red Mountain Bone Monster and the other 4 Infinity Warlocks appeared in the void. Excitement flashed in Petrol Feather's eyes, and he said solemnly, "This Black Emperor realm is really a treasure land. With so many Infinity Warlock rank archgods, they don't know how to use their power. If we can kill them all, it'll be a huge fortune." Infinity Warlock rank archgods are far weaker than human warlocks in the core world in terms of fighting strength. However, The bloodline of Infinity Warlock rank archgods is of great value. If all the bloodline of an Infinity Warlock rank archgod is extracted and refined, it's possible to create an Infinity Warlock rank archgod bloodline warlock family. In the Black Emperor realm, Infinity Warlock rank archgods can be seen everywhere. Although they have formidable talents, but as long as human Infinity Warlocks proficient in countless spells pay a little attention, they can hunt them down one by one and turn them into tremendous wealth. The Red Moon Fairy said solemnly, if the Taboo Imperial Court obtains the Black Emperor realm, then with their research on bloodline power, they may be able to create 1 or 2 Warlock Monarch rank archgods. However, these archgods won't be of much use to our cultivation. Besides, there are also pinnacle powerhouses among these archgods. If we're not careful, we may be wiped out. We should find a way to steal the Empyrean origin force and leave this place. That's the best plan. Infinity Warlock rank archgod bloodline can indeed be exchanged for a large amount of resources. However, resources above the Infinity Warlock rank are priceless. It is extremely difficult to exchange archgod bloodline for cultivation resources. But Empyrean origin force is different. No matter what secret method a warlock cultivates, as long as they can absorb Empyrean origin force, they will get a huge improvement. When the other Infinity Warlocks heard the Red Moon Fairy's words, they nodded. Let's go. The Red Moon Fairy shouted, turned into a stream of light, and flew towards the place where a large hole was blasted open in the Holy Pulse Mountain. Yang Feng and the others followed her. The Holy Pulse Mountain is the center of the Black Emperor realm. With the means of the Red Moon Fairy and them, it is extremely difficult to enter the Holy Pulse Mountain. The fastest way was to sneak into the Holy Pulse Mountain from where the Holy Pulse Mountain was broken. Before long, a huge and unfathomably deep fist-shaped cave appeared in front of Yang Feng and company. The fist-shaped cave was filled with wisps of strange demon chi. The strange demonic aura intertwined with the abundant mana in the surroundings, forming all kinds of strange phenomena. Countless strangely shaped life forms suddenly took shape and let out shrill and strange screams. Once existences below the Starry Sky Warlock rank hear the strange scream, their soul will shatter, and they will turn into corpses. The countless strangely shaped spirit body life forms possess terrifying power. If careless, even Moonlight Warlock rank powerhouses would be torn to pieces by the strange spirit body life forms. Since Yang Feng and his party are all Infinity Warlocks, the countless strange spirits that can kill Moonlight Warlocks can't even get close to them, and are easily shattered to pieces. As soon as they entered the Holy Pulse Mountain, a boundless demonic sea covered in dense demonic chi appeared in front of Yang Feng and company. The demonic sea churned, and the laws of heaven and earth above it twisted and changed, forming an unstable space. Black wind lingered around, and the demonic aura was dense, causing people to feel a chill in their hearts. Petrol feathers pointed with a finger, and a feather suddenly flew out and turned into a great warlock rank extraordinary demonic swallow that flew into the sky above the demonic sea. Shortly after the extraordinary demonic swallow flew into the sky above the demonic sea, it suddenly trembled slightly, and as if it lost all its strength, flapped its wings and fell into the demonic sea. The demonic chi swirled slightly, and the transcendent demonic swallow completely disappeared, sinking into the demonic sea. Petrol Feathers said solemnly, "It is impossible to fly in the demonic sea. The laws of heaven and earth above it are chaotic. Unless you can analyze the laws of chaos, no one can fly on it." Looking at the demonic sea surging with demonic chi, the Infinity Warlocks frowned, and a dignified look flashed in their eyes. Infinity Warlocks possess terrifying perception. Although the Red Moon Fairy and the others haven't come into contact with the demonic sea, but they can still vaguely feel the great terror hidden in the demonic sea. In the world of warlocks there were many bizarre, outrageous, and unimaginable existences. For example, as long as they don't touch the water of Styx, even Moonlight Warlocks can resist it with spells. But once they are touched by a drop of Styx, even an Infinity Warlock will have their soul and memories erased, and they will turn into a walking corpse. The demonic sea gives people a very dangerous feeling. These Infinity Warlocks aren't willing to touch it lightly. "I'll do it." The Red Mountain Bone Monster's voice was hoarse. He stabbed his hand into his body, dug out a bone inscribed with all kinds of weird runes, and threw it towards the demonic sea. The bone was also brimming with demonic chi. It twisted and turned into a strange demonic ship that was brimming with demonic chi. It landed on the demonic sea. The bizarre devilish ship swayed slightly and hovered above the devilish sea. My demonic bone ship can resist the erosion of the demonic sea. The red mountain bone monster's eyes flickered for a while, and then he took a step forward and boarded the ship. The eyes of the Red Moon Fairy and the other Infinity Warlocks flickered with enigmatic light, and they boarded the ship. As soon as the 6 people boarded the demonic ship, 18 bony arms extended from the demonic ship, each holding an oar, and began to row the ship. The demonic ship floated towards the depths of the demonic sea. Suddenly, the demonic sea churned and roiled, and one after another, skeletons and rotting corpses emerged from the demonic sea. A layer of skeletons and rotting corpses appeared on the surface of the demonic sea. Most of the skeletons and rotting corpses are in the form of archgods, looking very strange and ferocious. A foul smell, resentment, and hostility diffused from the skeletons and rotting corpses and rushed towards the ship. Come down. Die. Flesh and blood. I want the flesh and blood of living people. Chapter 838. The petrel feathers trembled slightly, and then split into countless palm-sized extraordinary demonic birds with different innate abilities that fled in different directions. As if a huge whirlpool has formed, the maw swallowed wildly. The countless palm-sized transcendent demonic birds trembled and were entangled by the countless whirlpools, flying toward the bloody mouth. Save me! The countless extraordinary birds gathered in an instant and formed the petrel feathers, and he shouted with a look of horror on his face. The Red Moon Fairy and the others, however, fled even faster. None of them looked back at the petrel feathers. The Red Moon Fairy and the others were lucky enough to obtain the secret of the Black Emperor's treasure trove. They formed a temporary team to explore the Black Emperor's treasure trove together, just to share the risks. They won't rescue their temporary teammates. When the maw closed, the magic light on the petrel feathers shattered, and he fell into the maw with a look of despair on his face, and was devoured and crushed to pieces. After the maw devoured the petrel feathers, it sank to the bottom of the demonic sea and disappeared. Seeing that the demonic sea is so dangerous, the remaining 5 Infinity Warlocks didn't dare to hold back anymore. They urged their life energy and cast various secret methods to rush to the other side of the demonic sea. In addition to the secret methods they practice, every Infinity Warlock has mastered many unimaginable secret methods. Even though the laws of heaven and earth above the demonic sea are chaotic, making it impossible to fly, but the Infinity Warlocks still have various means to cross the demonic sea. The 5 Infinity Warlocks frantically urged their life energy, took out one secret treasure after another, and crossed the demonic sea at a terrifying speed. Before long, they saw the end of the demonic sea. At this moment, the originally calm demon sea suddenly surged and churned. The bloody mouth that had just devoured the petrel feather suddenly burst out from the endless demon sea, stirring the heavens and earth as it chomped down on the demon snake old ancestor. Damn bastard! Do you really think I'm afraid of you? The eyes of the snake ancestor flashed fiercely, and his aura suddenly changed. His body swelled up, and the snake hair on his head shattered. He turned into a 100-meter-long purple true dragon. A vast and boundless world energy seeped out from the purple dragon's body. It stretched out its dragon claw, and dragon energy surged, suppressing the world as it slammed into the bloody mouth. Struck by the dragon claw containing boundless world force, the bloody mouth split open. Black mucus and teeth shattered and sank into the demonic sea. Strands of incomparably strange profoundness surged in the demonic sea. Streams of demonic water that seemed to be able to crush and erode worlds soared into the sky from the demonic sea, and swept towards the purple dragon in the sky. The purple true dragon's world energy surged wildly, forming a purple halo around its body. Demonic water covered the sky and purple light flashed. 2 extremely powerful forces intertwined in the demonic sea, churned, and offset each other. All of a sudden, the purple true dragon twisted slightly, crossed the distance of 100 kilometers, and appeared at the edge of the demonic sea. The boundless demonic water fell into the demonic sea and churned. Come back. Let's go together. Countless skeletons and rotting corpses were faintly discernible in the demonic sea and issued queer calls. Shrouded by the queer calls, even a glorious dawn warlock will have their mind shaken, their soul shaken, and they will fall into the demonic sea. Taking advantage of the time when the weird monster was entangled with the snake ancestor, the other 4 infinity warlocks took the opportunity to cross the demonic sea, land on the ground, and stared at the snake ancestor vigilantly. The Red Moon Fairy narrowed her eyes, stared at the snake ancestor, and uttered unhurriedly, "Should we call you the snake ancestor? Or the 175th on the infinity list, purple true dragon Yun Bo?" Yang Feng's eyes congealed slightly. So this is an expert on the infinity list. Sure enough, he deserves his reputation. He's a powerhouse who has formed a virtual world. Powerhouses who have formed a virtual world or a small world inside them are far stronger than those of the same rank, and can display terrifying battle prowess in many worlds and environments. However, it is far more difficult for powerhouses who have formed a virtual world to promote to an infinity warlock than other warlocks. With the help of the eternal fruit, Yang Feng broke through the Godman boundary and obtained a level 9 soul aptitude, which is how he was able to advance to the infinity warlock realm. The 175th on the infinity list is a powerhouse who has formed a virtual world. From this, it can be seen how strong an expert on the infinity list is. Yun Bo said flatly, "I am the purple true dragon." The godly-faced demon eyes stared at Yun Bo. His voice was slightly distorted as he said coldly, "Purple true dragon, what is your purpose for sneaking into our midst?" Yun Bo glanced at the 4 infinity warlocks and said domineeringly, "My purpose? Of course it's the Empyrean origin force in the center of the Black Emperor realm. Didn't you all come here for the same reason?" As an expert on the infinity list, Yun Bo is extremely powerful. Even when facing 4 infinity warlocks, he isn't afraid. The gap in strength between infinity warlocks is enormous. Supreme infinity warlocks can insta-kill junior infinity warlocks. As an expert on the infinity list, Yun Bo is an outrageous genius who has formed a virtual world inside him. Even if he faces the Red Moon Fairy and the other 4 infinity warlocks, the outcome of the battle won't be known. The Red Mountain Bone Monster said coldly, "All right. Everyone's purpose is the Black Emperor realm's Empyrean origin force. Now that the Empyrean origin force hasn't appeared yet, it will only make people laugh if we fight among ourselves. Let's move on." The other 3 infinity warlocks looked at each other and nodded silently. The group continued to explore. But Yang Feng's group of 4 formed a small group, vaguely rejecting the infinity list powerhouse purple true dragon Yun Bo. Yun Bo didn't care and walked straight ahead. After crossing the demonic sea, a vast and endless cluster of palaces appeared before everyone's eyes. Within the palace complex, there were traces of battle everywhere. Corpses were scattered all over the ground, making it look like a ghost town. All of a sudden Yang Feng's heart stirred, and he turned to look at the void. Then he turned around and continued to look at the palace complex covered in corpses. The Red Moon Fairy scanned the palace complex with her soul force, and then frowned and uttered, "Flying is prohibited in this area. Infinity warlocks are proficient in many secret methods, and many escape secret methods require flying to be cast. Since flying is prohibited in this palace complex, it means that the escape secret methods prepared by many infinity warlocks will be ineffective, or even greatly weakened. However, every infinity warlock who dares to come here is a person with a firm mind." Without hesitation, they stepped into the palace complex. As soon as they entered the palace complex, Yang Feng and the others saw that there are archgod skeletons everywhere. Each archgod skeleton is riddled with scars, and resentment and ferocious breath diffuse from the archgod skeletons and soar into the sky. The Red Mountain Bone Monster glanced at the archgod skeletons and sighed slightly, and regret shimmered in his eyes. Unfortunately, these bones have been here for too long. These archgods were extremely powerful when they were alive, with the weakest being Moonlight Warlock rank existences. However, after nearly 10 million years, the extraordinary power inside their bones has completely faded away with the passage of time. Now they are just ordinary bones without any extraordinary power. Lightning God Myriad Bloodflower. Yang Feng suddenly appeared in front of an extraordinary plant, bent down, and grabbed a palm-sized, red extraordinary plant surrounded by countless bolts of lightning. The Red Moon Fairy's eyes lit up, and she uttered with a tender smile, as expected of the Black Emperor's world, "There are treasures everywhere." The lightning god Myriad Bloodflower is a rare treasure of heaven and earth. It needs to be watered with the blood essence of archgods with lightning god bloodline, and only by chance can it be born. If it is a warlock who cultivates lightning secret methods, then even a warlock monarch rank powerhouse will pay a huge price in exchange for it. Yunbo glanced at Yang Feng, and killing intent streaked past his eyes. Then he regained his calm, as if he doesn't care about the lightning god Myriad Bloodflower. Fire god Jade Tree. Wind god Blood Origin Stone. After Yang Feng harvested the lightning god Myriad Bloodflower, the Red Moon Fairy and them also searched and obtained many treasures of heaven and earth that will move the hearts of infinity warlocks and even warlock monarchs. Since no one has come here for millions of years, the palace complex is full of treasures of heaven and earth that are rarely seen in the outside world. However, Yang Feng and them still went straight to the center of the palace complex. Empyrean origin force is the ultimate goal of Yang Feng and them. Although the other treasures of heaven and earth are precious, but it is still difficult to promote an infinity warlock to a warlock monarch. But Empyrean origin force can make a person advance to a warlock monarch rank powerhouse in a single bound. In the center of the palace complex, there is a 10,000-meter tall magnificent palace made of a rare mineral gold jade. Even ordinary warlock monarchs can hardly harm it. But at this time, the magnificent palace is strangely divided into two. One half has disappeared into thin air, as if it doesn't exist at all. At the very center of the palace was an extremely strange disk. At the center of the disk was a black crystal. Strands of world origin energy radiated from the black crystal. Empyrean origin force. With a thought, Yang Feng cast a secret method, jumped into the shadow and disappeared. Since the Empyrean origin force has appeared, then go to hell. Yunbo's eyes flickered with a ferocious gleam as he unleashed all the power he could muster. In the blink of an eye, he appeared in front of the godly face's demon eyes. His claws were imbued with the aura of a true dragon, as though he had transformed into a true dragon hunting its prey. Suppressing the void, he grabbed out at the godly face's demon eye's heart. Chapter 839. The spells of warlocks who cultivated ocular techniques and ocular secret methods were extremely strange. No one knew what kind of extraordinary power their ocular techniques possessed. Among infinity warlocks who cultivate eye techniques and eye secret methods may not be the strongest in head-on combat. However, if they hide aside and release all kinds of strange eye techniques to their heart's content, then even supreme infinity warlocks in the top 10 on the infinity list will be hit if they are careless. The eyes on the transcendent eye's body opened one by one, and the eyes of different extraordinary life forms suddenly erupted and barreled towards the purple true dragon Yunbo He. If you were given time to prepare, your eye technique would indeed pose a great threat to me. But after all, you aren't the true body of those eyes. Instead of hurriedly opening so many eyes, you might as well just open one eye. Yunbo sneered. Suddenly, purple dragon scales appeared on his body. It was as if he had transformed into a humanoid dragon. Rings of purple dragon aura wrapped around his body, exuding a terrifying pressure of a true dragon. When the light fired by the transcendent eye's eyes slammed into Yunbo, the purple dragon chi blasted through the purple dragon chi, hit the purple dragon scales and scorched, twisted, frozen and corroded the scales. Yunbo took this opportunity to slam his claw into the chest of the transcendent eyes, and fearsome dragon chi slammed into the transcendent eyes in an instant. The eyes on the transcendent eye's body exploded, and a copious amount of mucus flew into the air, and then evaporated. His head exploded and flew into the distance like a cannonball. The transcendent eyes is a battle-hardened powerhouse. When he was seriously injured by Yunbo, he decisively gave up the fight for the Empyrean origin force. Although treasures are good, but his life is more important. Instead of chasing after the transcendent eyes, Yunbo turned to the Red Moon Fairy and the other two and sneered. If the three of you leave at once, I can spare your lives. Otherwise, if you don't have a fortuitous encounter, you'll die in 1,000 to 2,000 years. Red Moon Fairy's eyes flickered with panic as she gritted her teeth and said, Purple True Dragon, aren't you afraid that the three of us will join forces and kill you here? Yunbo smiled coldly and said in a domineering and confident tone, Even if the three of you join forces, you're still nothing in my eyes. I'm not afraid to tell you the truth. My true identity is Purple Star Dragon King Emo-chan. Rank 76th on the C roll. 76th on the C list. Red Moon Fairies and Red Mountain Bone Demons' expressions changed. The core world is a place where Tsangji Plains human warlock experts gather, and there are more than 5,000 Infinity Warlocks. There are only 200 Infinity Warlocks on the Infinity list, and the top 100 on the Infinity list are recognized as Supreme Infinity Warlocks or existences with Supreme Infinity Warlock rank battle prowess. If the Purple Star Dragon King Emo-chan goes all out, he may be able to insta-kill junior Infinity Warlock rank powerhouses like the Red Moon Fairy and the Red Mountain Bone Monster with a single spell. I quit. Yang Feng's embodiment of the Shadow Killer suddenly jumped out from a corner, jumped out of a shadow, and entered another shadow. Within a few breaths of time, he had jumped hundreds of kilometers away. The Red Moon Fairy's complexion changed several times, and she sighed in disappointment. I quit as well. Nothing is more important than your life. The Red Moon Fairy knows that she is not Yunbo's opponent. If she stays, only death will await her. Too late. A sneer suddenly came from the side, and a purple dragon chi instantly erupted from the Red Mountain Bone Devil's body. A dragon claw suddenly stabbed towards Red Moon Fairy's body. The warlock robe worn by the Red Moon Fairy burst out with countless runes in an instant, and all kinds of mesmerizing dance and illusory figures suddenly appeared, making people's blood boil and unable to control themselves. Layer after layer of seductive and enchanting fragrance wafted in all directions. Mixed with the mesmerizing dance and beautiful illusions, even an Infinity Warlock would find it hard to control themselves. The Red Mountain Bone Demon's eyes narrowed slightly, and purple dragon chi rose from his body. His whole body was covered with purple dragon scales, and a vast, ancient and terrifying true dragon purple chi erupted from his body in an instant, broke through the Red Moon Fairy's illusory boundary, and blasted into the Red Moon Fairy's body, blasting her body into pieces and splattering blood everywhere. Yunbo stepped forward and uttered with a smile, Big brother, your purple true dragon claw has become even more powerful. The Red Mountain Bone Demon frowned slightly and said, The Red Moon Fairy is really extraordinary. She actually aroused my lust. It seems that I have to complete the mission as soon as possible. Otherwise, it will be troublesome. Yunbo said with a smile, There are humanoid archgods in the Black Emperor realm, and the females of those humanoid archgods are also very beautiful. If you can't control yourself, you can use those humanoid archgods to quench your lust in the future. The Red Mountain Bone Demon said solemnly, All right. Yunbo said, Let's divide the Empyrean origin force according to our previous agreement, 60% for you and 40% for me. You absorb it first. I'll stand guard for you. Okay. There was a flash of warmth in the Red Mountain Bone Demon's eyes, and then he looked towards a dark corner and said coldly, But before that, we brothers have to join forces to get rid of this hidden enemy. When Yunbo heard this, his eyes flashed gravely, and purple dragon chi surged all over him. He was full of vigilance. Purple Star Dragon King Emo-chan and Purple True Dragon Yunbo, two powerhouses on the Infinity list, are actually brothers. If this news gets out, it will shock the world. The void twisted slightly, and a strange existence that seemed to hover between real and illusory formed a trembling shadow that appeared in front of the two powerhouses on the Infinity list. Emo-chan's face suddenly changed dramatically, and his eyes flashed gravely. Ninth on the Infinity list, Heart Shadow Joey. Yunbo's face suddenly fell and purple dragon chi surged, ready to attack at any time. Heart Shadow Joey. The top 10 powerhouses on the Infinity list are monsters among monsters, geniuses among geniuses. Virtually all of them possess Supreme Infinity Warlock rank battle prowess, and have the potential to attack the Warlock Emperor realm. Although the experts on the Infinity list are full of confidence and arrogance, but they are well aware that the top 10 powerhouses on the Infinity list are not on the same level as them. Emo-chan said decisively, Heart Shadow Joey, how about the three of us divide the Empyrean origin force equally? We brothers only want 50%. The other 50% belongs to you. The top 10 experts on the Infinity List are extremely powerful. Since the Emo-chan brothers aren't certain of victory, they can only choose to compromise. Zhou Yi's eyes shimmered with enigmatic light, and he uttered with a smile, Okay. Emo-chan probed. Then I'll absorb it first, then you and finally my brother. What do you think? Zhou Yi replied with a smile. Okay. Emo-chan took a deep look at Zhou Yi, frowned slightly, and strode towards the Empyrean origin force. Emo-chan's eyes shimmered with enigmatic light, and he sneered in his heart, Idiot, after I absorb enough Empyrean origin force, I'll attack the Warlock Monarch realm in one fell swoop. Once I succeed, even if you are Heart Shadow Zhou Yi, who is ranked 9th on the Infinity List, you will still die at my hands. The further along a warlock's cultivation, the more difficult it becomes to challenge someone of a higher realm. There is a great realm between the Warlock Monarch and Infinity Warlock realms. Even the top 10 freaks on the Infinity List may not be able to defeat the weakest human Warlock Monarch. In the depths of Zhou Yi's eyes, a ring of stars formed. Countless strange runes flickered in the boundless universe. Wisps of extremely strange fluctuations shot out of his eyes and entangled Emo-chan and Yun Bo, blinding their minds. Normally, with the cunning Emo-chan and Yun Bo, they would be able to detect that something is wrong. However, their greed was aroused by the Empyrean origin force, and they relaxed a little because of Zhou Yi's concession. Their minds fluctuated, which gave Zhou Yi an opportunity to take advantage of. When Emo-chan walked up to the materialized Empyrean origin force crystal, his eyes shimmered with greed, and he extended his hand towards the crystal. Suddenly, the earth split open, and a monster covered in black armor with sharp bone spikes, dragging a black tail behind it, suddenly flew out. Its torso was 90% similar to a human's, and its claw was shrouded in pitch-black demon chi, stabbing toward Emo-chan's heart. Emo-chan is indeed a peerless powerhouse ranked 76th on the Infinity List. In an instant, purple dragon scales appeared on his body, and purple dragon chi gushed out. The dragon chi distorted the void and merged with his powerful life force field, which can even resist the attacks of many Infinity Warlocks. When the monster's pitch-black claw stabbed into the magic force field formed from dragon chi, the magic force field was eroded by the demonic chi, and a large hole was opened. The pitch-black claw stabbed into Emo-chan, pierced through the dragon scales, and dug out an infinity core from Emo-chan's forehead. After the monster killed Emo-chan with one blow, it grabbed Emo-chan's corpse and stuffed it into its mouth, and it issued hair-raising chewing sounds. Its pitch-black vertical pupils turned and fell on Yun Bo and Zhou Yi. Yun Bo let out a roar of grief and stared at the monster in shock and anger, yet didn't attack. Big brother. Zhou Yi's eyes shimmered with enigmatic light, and he uttered with a smile, Is this a powerhouse from another high-energy level universe? To be able to insta-kill a powerhouse ranked 76th on the Infinity List, his strength is really extraordinary. This is a monster from a high-energy level universe? So strong. I wonder what level this monster is in the high-energy level universe. Yang Feng, who had been hiding in the darkness and blending with the shadows, was also slightly startled and stared at the monster. Chapter 840. Everyone come out. The top 10 on the Infinity List are still hiding. Compared to the 8 Warlock Emperors when they were young, your courage is really lacking. Zhou Yi looked around with a faint smile on his face. With a flick of his finger, strange ripples spread out in all directions. A copious amount of flesh and blood of the Red Moon Fairy, who was blasted apart by the cloud wave, flew into the air, and formed a beautiful woman dressed in a silver-white warlock robe. She has a pure and beautiful temperament and a holy temperament, looking like a sacred and beautiful goddess. Empyrean origin force is of great importance. It's an opportunity for me to promote to a warlock monarch. It's a matter of course to be cautious. At the time, didn't the Star Lord also hide from the 9 Realms Lord? Streams of black dragon chi surged as a handsome and burly young man who gave off a domineering aura walked out. He was like a humanoid dragon as he spoke indifferently. Compared with the young man, The dragon chi of the brothers Yunbo and Emo-chan is not worth mentioning. It's like the gap between a young dragon and an adult dragon. Zoe uttered with a smile. Number 500 on the infinity list, Queen of Change Luo Jiejia. And number 6 on the infinity list, Dark True Dragon Mo-xn. The rumor that the two of you got a clue about the Black Emperor's treasure trove is true. Luo Jiejia smiled sweetly, looking like a goddess. Heart Shadow Zoe. Legend has it that you know a lot of secrets. You are in charge of the most mysterious intelligence agency in the core world, the Eyes of Insight. It seems that the legend is true. Zoe smiled slightly and flicked his finger, and strange ripples swept towards Yang Feng's location. The transparent tentacles of the phantom ruler appeared around Yang Feng, and resisted most of the strange ripples. But some ripples still entered his body. Indeed, compared to the 8 warlock emperors, my courage is still too lacking. When the strange ripples landed on Yang Feng, his mind shook slightly, and a thought suddenly emerged in his mind. Along the way, Yang Feng has relied on Shizu technology and battle robots to destroy countless powerful enemies, obtain countless resources, practice cultivation to the advanced Infinity Warlock realm, and become an Infinity Warlock. However, hiding behind the scenes all year round, Yang Feng didn't cultivate the indomitable and invincible aura and confidence of a Warlock Emperor. Every top powerhouse had their own pride and confidence. That pride and confidence allowed them to perfectly unleash their strength, and even unleash 120% of their strength. As for those who lacked confidence, even if they had 100% of their strength, they would only be able to display 50% to 60% of their strength at critical moments. This was the power of the spirit. The Shizu's AI robots are able to display 100% of their strength in any environment. After all, I'm just a human, and the power of the soul is equally important to me. Yang Feng looked pensive, as if a layer of fog had been erased from his mind, and his body became even more relaxed. Distorted light flickered and Yang Feng, who had been hiding in the shadows and darkness, appeared. Hiding in the shadows and darkness as a peerless assassin wasn't my wish. My wish is to be invincible, to roam the world, to settle debts of gratitude and enmity, and to suppress the Devata realms with absolute power. The Shizu's technology and power are just my tools and weapons for gathering resources. At the moment when Yang Feng appeared, his breath suddenly changed, and he broke through to the pinnacle Infinity Warlock realm from the advanced Infinity Warlock realm, and he turned into a huge whirlpool that frantically devoured the surrounding life magic energy. Countless magic crystals suddenly flew out and turned into powder, and a tremendous amount of life magic energy poured into Yang Feng. In this area, the powerhouses in the top 10 on the Infinity list quietly watched Yang Feng break through. None of them took action. The eyes of the monster covered in black armor that just devoured Emo-chan shimmered fiercely, and it suddenly turned into a black bolt of lightning and flew towards Yang Feng. In an instant, the monster appeared in front of Yang Feng and sent a claw barreling towards Yang Feng's heart. You want to kill me on your own? Suddenly, Yang Feng's eyes shone brightly, and he looked at the monster and extended a hand. Runes appeared in an instant, and a primal chaos force field slammed into the monster like a mountain. Boom! The monster's black armor suddenly caved in, and it fell to the ground and spewed out a large mouthful of blood, seriously injured. A dignified shade streaked past Yang Feng's eyes. Not dead? What a powerful fleshly body! Without extracting the world force inside him, Yang Feng used 80% of his power in this strike. Even if it is an intermediate Infinity Warlock rank powerhouse, they will be torn apart, and their soul will shatter, leaving only an Infinity Core behind. Although the monster was hit by Yang Feng, yet it didn't die. Its life force is simply terrifying. Seriously injured, the monster opened its mouth and issued a sharp and ear-piercing scream. With the monster as the core, fearsome sound waves spread in all directions. Even if it is a powerhouse below the Moonlight Warlock rank, once they are enveloped by the fearsome sound waves, their life force field will shatter and their soul will shatter. Along with the monster's scream, the earth trembled slightly. 9 huge black eggs with a diameter of 20 meters and countless runes engraved on them emerged from the ground. The 9 giant black eggs trembled slightly, and with a cracking sound they shattered. From the mucus, 9 monsters wearing black armor and exuding fearsome auras crawled out. Each of their auras is more than a notch stronger than that of the monster Yangfeng just injured. Zhou Yi sighed emotionally. This is the underlying strength of a high-energy universe. It can casually send experts on the infinity list. Besides, these monsters should be monsters left from the Black Emperor era. An enigmatic ray flashed in Yangfeng's eyes, and he speculated, it's impossible for these monsters to come from the outside world. They can only sleep in the Black Emperor realm, and eventually be devoured by the core world. The only possibility for them to recover is that the Infinity Warlock rank power devoured in the demonic sea awakened them. Zhou Yi uttered with a smile, that's right. Any intelligent life form above the Moonlight Warlock rank that enters the core world will be monitored by the core world. Only inanimate objects' existences sealed to the point of death, and existences shielded by the inner world of Warlock Emperor rank powerhouses can block the core world from spying on them. The core world is a powerful world that the Time Lord and countless generations of human warlock supreme geniuses spent countless resources and treasures to develop. It is the final base of human warlocks. Even Warlock Emperor rank powerhouses will find it difficult to discover it. However, the core world also has its flaws. Once it devours the remnant world of a Warlock Emperor, the life forms of that world can easily integrate into the core world and become a member of the core world. Zhou Yi glanced at Yangfeng and asked curiously, I am Heart Shadow Zhou Yi. Friend, how do I address you and where are you from? Yunbo, Luo Jiejie, and Mo Xian focused their gazes on Yangfeng, revealing looks of curiosity. Every Infinity Warlock is extremely powerful. As long as the 5,000 Infinity Warlocks in the core world don't deliberately hide their identity, they will be known by other Infinity Warlocks. Yangfeng's sudden appearance as an unfamiliar pinnacle Infinity Warlock rank powerhouse has a suspicious origin. Yangfeng answered calmly, I am Endless Darkness Yangfeng from the Zhangji Plains surface world. Disdain flashed in Mo Xian's eyes, and he sneered coldly, an aborigine of the surface world. There is a big gap between the surface world and the core world's warlock civilization. As a powerhouse in the top 10 on the Infinity list, it is normal for Mo Xian to look down on the surface world's warlocks. Each of these monsters possesses quasi-warlock monarch rank strength. Let's take care of them. Dark True Dragon Mo Xian is very domineering. Black dragon scales erupted all over his body, and he looks like the incarnation of a humanoid true dragon. He took a step forward, appeared in front of a black monster, and punched it in the head. The instant Mo Xian's fist landed on the black monster, the power collapsed. A terrifying power erupted and blasted the black monster's body. The black monster's body caved in an instant, and it spewed out a mouthful of black blood and was sent flying for tens of kilometers. Crack crack. Along with crisp sounds, black gas filled the black monster's body, and its bones creaked. It recovered, blurred into motion, and rushed towards Mo Xian. The other black monsters blurred into motion and rushed towards Zhou Yi, Yangfeng, Yunbo, and Luo Jiejie respectively. Heart Shadow Zhou Yi smiled faintly. His double pupils suddenly appeared in his eyes. Waves of strange ripples spread out from his eyes and swept toward the two monsters. Zhou Yi's figure was reflected in the eyes of the two monsters rushing towards Zhou Yi, and then their bodies stiffened. As if they were hit by a paralysis spell, black gas diffused from them and disappeared. Their bodies were also strangely crumbling inch by inch. Luo Jiejie smiled lightly, then flicked her lily-white finger, and silver-white ribbon suddenly flew out and wrapped around the two freaks. The silver-white ribbon suddenly shone, countless runes appeared, and wisps of white gas erupted and suppressed the black gas exuding from the two monsters. Yunbo's figure fluttered, and he turned into a purple true dragon and rushed towards the monster that was seriously injured by Yangfeng. When the other monster rushed to in front of Yangfeng, he stabbed a claw into the monster, and sucked the monster dry. After Yangfeng killed the three monsters, he looked at Heart Shadow Zhou Yi and the other three experts on the Infinity list. After Yunbo turned into a purple true dragon, he fought back and forth with the monster that was seriously injured by Yangfeng, gaining the upper hand. The reason why Emo-chan was insta-killed by the monster was that he was ambushed by the weird monster. Otherwise, in a real fight, Emo-chan would be much stronger than the monster. Joey suddenly laughed. The strange ripples in his double pupils suddenly strengthened by 10 times. All of you die. The two weird monsters trembled slightly, twisted, and their souls shattered, and they turned into two corpses that fell to the ground. Luo Jiejie smiled sweetly like a goddess descending to the mortal world. Countless strange runes appeared on the white ribbon. The two monsters trembled slightly, twisted, shrank, and entered the white ribbon and formed two imprints. Mo-Xian roared furiously, and his strength suddenly doubled. He casually tore a monster in half, and a true dragon head appeared behind him. It opened its mouth and swallowed the monster in one gulp. Mo-Xian's figure flickered and he appeared in front of another monster. He casually tore the monster in half. The true dragon's head reappeared and swallowed the monster. Trash, you're a disgrace to us experts on the infinity list. Mo-Xian looked at Yunbo, who was fighting with another monster, smiled coldly, took a step and appeared behind the monster. The true dragon head suddenly appeared behind him, opened its maw, and bit the monster to pieces in an instant. After the 10 monsters were wiped out by Yang Feng and the other 3 powerhouses, a tense atmosphere pervaded the space. There is only one portion of Empyrean origin force. If a person devours it, they will not only be able to promote to a warlock monarch, but also gain a large amount of accumulation needed to advance to the Holy Spirit warlock realm. This kind of great opportunity may only come across once in a person's life. After all, the number of warlock emperors is very small. In the past millions of years, only 8 have been born in the human race. Even in the Archgod Age and the distant Eternals Age, warlock emperors were extremely rare. Only after a warlock emperor rank existence dies, and a wisp of origin force falls into the world inside them, can Empyrean origin force be born. Warlock emperor rank existences are divided into different races. For example, the kindred true ancestor doesn't have a world inside her. Warlock emperor rank powerhouses like the kindred true ancestor naturally can't produce Empyrean origin force. Empyrean origin force is even rarer than the eternal god tree. It's a great opportunity that's hard to come across. Zhou Yi's eyes shimmered with enigmatic light, and he said with a smile, "How about the 4 of us divide the Empyrean origin force equally?" Chapter 842. The top 10 on the Infinity List have a well-deserved reputation. Each of them has formed a virtual world. Without using world force, if you want to defeat them, you must have a special secret treasure or a heaven-defying secret method. An enigmatic ray flashed in Yang Feng's eyes, and he frantically extracted the world force of the 9 small worlds from the world ring inside him. He operated the primal chaos imperishable body. Runes appeared on his body, and primal chaos breath enveloped him. Then he punched the claw of the archaic black dragon Mo-Xian has transformed into. Boom! Along with an earth-shattering blare, the claw of the archaic black dragon Mo-Xian has transformed into was distorted by Yang Feng's punch, and a copious amount of blood splashed about. Bombarded by the tremendous force, the bones of the huge dragon body twisted, and he spewed out a large mouthful of blood. In the eyes of the onlookers it looks like a small ant sent a huge elephant flying with a blow, forming a strange visual effect. Yun Bo's eyes shimmered with astonishment and he exclaimed, How is this possible? The fleshly body of a true dragon is the most powerful existence among extraordinary life forms. Even the fleshly body of giants is only slightly stronger than that of true dragons. He doesn't have giant bloodline. And the secret method he cultivates isn't a giant-type secret method. How can he be so powerful? An enigmatic ray flashed in Zhou Yi's eyes. Amazing! The archaic black dragon Mo-Xian has transformed into exuded formidable world force. The tremendous world force revolved, and the injuries of the archaic black dragon healed by 70%. Yang Feng took a step forward, appeared on Mo-Xian's head, and stomped on Mo-Xian's head. Violent world force erupted, and an extraordinary force blasted into the archaic black dragon Mo-Xian has transformed into. Moxion opened his mouth and ejected a mouthful of dragon blood that sprinkled on the ground. The entire earth trembled. Boom! 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 The sound of huge explosions rang incessantly. As if an ant bombarding a giant elephant, Yang Feng punched Moxion in his incarnation of an archaic black dragon over and over again, breaking the bones of the archaic black dragon he has transformed into. Powerful world energy revolved around the primordial black dragon, constantly healing Moxion's body. Lowly aborigines of the surface world, let us perish together. Blasted by Yang Feng, Moxion's avatar of an archaic black dragon trembled, unable to resist. His eyes flashed with despair and madness, and he opened his mouth, and a black dragon bead engraved with countless mysterious runes suddenly appeared and barreled towards Yang Feng. The Black True Dragon Pearl was a king-grade secret treasure that Moxion possessed. It was originally a Dragon Ball born from a Holy Spirit Warlock rank Black True Dragon, which is a holy grade secret treasure of the Black True Dragon. After that Black True Dragon fell, after countless years, it fell into Moxion's hands and became a king-grade secret treasure. That Black True Dragon Pearl was also a king-level secret treasure that had the highest chance of becoming a saint-level secret treasure. It was extremely powerful and was Moxion's strongest trump card. As soon as the Black True Dragon Pearl appeared, a premonition of death welled up in Yang Feng's heart. As if the whole world was enveloped by the Black True Dragon Pearl, it repelled all non-dragon forces. Vast dragon force which seems capable of crushing a world, diffused from the Black True Dragon Pearl and barreled towards Yang Feng. Yang Feng flipped his hand, and the mountain shield suddenly appeared. As if supporting heaven and earth, mountain projections suddenly emerged and blocked in front of him. The Black True Dragon Pearl descended from the sky and slammed into the mountains, and endless dragon chi gushed out. In the wake of the dragon chi, the mountains crumbled and shattered one after another. After shattering countless mountains, the Black True Dragon Pearl finally slammed into the mountain shield and sent it flying. At this moment Yang Feng's figure blurred, and black light of devour emerged around him, devoured everything around him, and severed the lock of the Black True Dragon Pearl. When the Black True Dragon Pearl slammed into Yang Feng, it blasted him into pieces. Moxion's face suddenly changed dramatically, and alarms went off in his heart. Dead? No. A blurry projection appeared behind Moxion and formed Yang Feng in an instant. A cold look in his eyes, a set of battle demon armor appeared on Yang Feng's body, and the world ring inside him extracted his power frantically. Shrouded in black light of devour, his hands pierced through Moxion's life force field, tore apart dragon scales, and stabbed into Moxion's body. The essence of devour erupted in an instant and devoured flesh and soul. The Black True Dragon Moxion has transformed into possesses extraordinary resistance. Whether it is sealing spells, curses, or other spells, they have no effect on him. Only with peerless power and essence can you crush everything, suppress everything, and seriously injure and kill him. In an instant, a large part of Moxion's body caved in, and bursts of severe pain spread throughout his body. His face suddenly fell, and he operated a secret method, contracted his body, and converged his power in an attempt to resist the devour force. Moxion only persisted for a breath of time, when he felt that the power inside him was still disappearing like a breached dam, and his face fell at once. Yang Feng, you dare to hurt me? I won't rest until you're dead. Moxion issued a world-shaking roar. Then countless runes appeared on his body in an instant, and his life force field became chaotic. In an instant, a copious amount of dragon chi exploded. As if the whole world collapsed, violent dragon chi engulfed Yang Feng in an instant. A Black True Dragon head flew out from the explosion, grew a pair of wings, and flew away while riding the law of wind. Zhou and Luo Jiejie glanced in the direction Moxion escaped, and their eyes flickered with enigmatic light. And then their gazes fell on the center of Moxion's explosion. A black ray of devour suddenly emerged from the smoke and devoured a copious amount of dragon chi. Yang Feng strolled out of the smoke and dust with blood flowing from the corners of his mouth. The battle demon armor is in tatters, and he is holding the monarch-grade secret treasure Black True Dragon Ball in his hand. Yang Feng praised, "To be able to injure me, a powerhouse in the top 10 on the infinity list is really extraordinary." Zhou Yi's eyes shimmered with enigmatic light, and he said with a smile, Yang Feng, how about we divide the Empyrean origin force equally? Shit. Yang Feng refused decisively. Chapter 843. Yang Feng's figure blurred, and he appeared in front of Zhou Yi and sent a fist flying. Countless primal chaos runes emerged on his fist and crushed towards Zhou Yi like a world of primal chaos. Heart Shadow Zhou Yi is proficient in psychic spells, which are strange, mysterious, and extremely dangerous. If it wasn't for the Phantom Ruler, it wouldn't be so easy for Yang Feng to break his spells. Warlocks who cultivate psychic and ocular spells are extremely strange, and are the most unstable variables. If they are careless, as long as there is a flaw in their mind, even a Warlock Monarch rank powerhouse may die to Heart Shadow Zhou Yi's psychic spells. In a group battle, the first to be defeated or killed is the Warlock who possesses ocular spells and psychic spells. Luo Jiejie took out the Monarch grade secret treasure divine transformation mask and put it on, then her figure fluttered, and she transformed into Yang Feng's appearance and sent a fist flying. Countless primal chaos runes shone, surrounded by world force, and barreled towards Yang Feng. The Queen of Reinvention can even imitate more than 90% of my power. That's the Queen of Reinvention for you. With a flash of admiration in his eyes, Yang Feng frantically operated the essence of Devour. World force permeated the air, and a Devour black moon that looks like a black hole suddenly appeared behind him. Break! The Yang Feng that Luo Jiejie has transformed into roared, and sent a fist covered in primal chaos runes slamming into the Devour black moon in an instant. A tyrannical law of power wrapped around Luo Jiejie's fists. The devouring black moon was struck by her fists, but before its devouring power could explode, it was shattered by her fists. As soon as the Devour black moon collapsed, a swarm of Type 2 Undyings poured out like a tide and slashed at Luo Jiejie with their blades. Luo Jiejie sent a fist flying, and a terrifying force containing the law of force erupted in an instant and slammed into the Type 2 Undyings. Crushed by the peerlessly terrifying law of strength, the Undyings were all smashed into pieces and turned into ashes. At this moment, Yang Feng's fist slammed into Heart Shadow Zhou Yi. Heart Shadow Zhou Yi twisted and collapsed. In his place, a heart formed from shadows collapsed and shattered. 20 kilometers away, a pale Heart Shadow Zhou Yi's true body appeared. Heart Shadow Zhou Yi's true body has just appeared. When Luo Jiejie's domineering fist containing the law of power slammed into Heart Shadow Zhou Yi, pierced through his force field, and slammed into his body. Luo Jiejie, wake up! Heart Shadow Zhou Yi's double pupils were sinister as he glanced in Luo Jiejie's direction. He saw many illusory lines that were invisible to the naked eye connecting to Luo Jiejie's body. He immediately let out an angry roar, and his double pupils flashed, turning into a sharp sword that slashed out and severed the phantom lines released by the Phantom Ruler. Illusion! I'm an illusion! Damn it! As soon as Luo Jiejie woke up from the Phantom Ruler's control, she became furious and rushed towards Yang Feng. As Luo Ling and Ling Luan Luo of Luo Yi Feng Long Luo Luo and Yi out. The single attack of the Type 2 Undyings couldn't even break through Luo Jiejie's protective life force field. However, the attacks of tens of thousands of Type 2 Undyings could completely wear down Luo Jiejie's protective life force field and consume her power. They were like enlarged ants blocking in front of her. Devouring ultimacy. A cold light flashed in Luo Jiejie's beautiful eyes, and a devouring black moon suddenly appeared. It was as if a terrifying black hole that could swallow the heaven and earth had suddenly appeared. The densely packed main battle robots were swallowed up by the black hole like a tide, all of their strength absorbed, and turned into piles of scrap metal. Yang Feng took a step forward. Like an invincible transcendent, his eyes indifferent, his fist shrouded in primal chaos runes and shrouded in world force barreled towards Zhou Yi with the might of a mountain. Zhou Yi waved his hand, and a level 9 secret treasure, Black Skeleton Demon Shield, suddenly flew out. A black light flashed, and an incomparably huge black skeletal devil suddenly appeared. It spat out a black demonic light, and 6 skulls suddenly flew out, forming an incomparably strange defensive barrier in the void. When Yang Feng's fist slammed into the barrier shattered, and the terrifying law of power crushed down and blasted the black skeleton demon into pieces. The black skeleton demon shield also shattered in an instant, and the broken pieces flew in all directions. Zhou Yi's body collapsed in an instant, and he disappeared. Did he escape? Cold light flashed in Yang Feng's eyes, runes appeared all over him, and he extended his hand, and 3 devouring black moons suddenly appeared, sealed the level 4-8 desolation, suppressed the starry sky, and swept towards Zhou Yi. Amazing! The Empyrean origin force is yours. Zhou Yi instantly appeared in front of a devouring black moon, took out a green leaf and waved it. The green leaf burned, turned into a green sword that split the sky, and slashed the devouring black moon apart. His figure fluttered, and he flew out of the scope of the devouring black moon. Then his body collapsed, and he disappeared after leaving a sentence. What a troublesome fellow! Yang Feng raised his eyebrows. When he turned around he saw Luo Jiejie, who looks exactly the same as him, has the same breath, spells and essences. A devouring black moon rose behind Luo Jiejie and frantically devoured Yang Feng's 4th-generation battle robots. In just a few breaths of time, 40,000 4th-generation battle robots were devoured by her, drained of their power, and turned into scrap iron. Luo Jiejie stared at Yang Feng with a ferocious gleam in her beautiful eyes. Her figure fluttered and she appeared in front of Yang Feng in the blink of an eye. World force revolved around her. Primal chaos breath pervaded the air, countless runes flickered, and she sent a fist barreling towards Yang Feng with the momentum of a mountain. Interesting, you imposter. Let's see how much of my ability you've obtained. Yang Feng smiled coldly and spread the fingers of a hand, and 6 devouring black moons suddenly appeared, turned into 6 black holes, devoured everything, destroyed the world, and pressed towards Luo Jiejie. Primal chaos breath surged around Luo Jiejie, and she smashed a devouring black moon with a punch. Then she stimulated the law of power and punched another devouring black moon. In the void, devouring black moons suddenly rose, and then were blasted apart by Luo Jiejie's punch. As if a peerless god is destroying stars, heaven and earth shook. Infinity warlocks are known as almighty warlocks. Each of them has the power to pluck stars and seize moons, and destroy a world. The power contained in the devouring black moon is stronger than that of a star. Yet it was still destroyed by Luo Jiejie with a punch, demonstrating her tyrannical power. At the moment when Luo Jiejie destroyed the 23rd devouring black moon, her breath weakened for a moment. The 24th devouring black moon swept Luo Jiejie into it. Endless darkness enveloped Luo Jiejie, and frantically extracted the power of her limbs and bones. The surroundings were enveloped by a terrifying devouring power, devouring all energy and preventing soul power from spreading out. Luo Jiejie operated a secret method and sealed every cell in her body, and the formidable life force field suddenly contracted and merged with her true body. After the life force field merged with Luo Jiejie's true body, the loss of her power dropped to a minimum. At this moment the devouring black moon collapsed on its own, and the endless darkness disappeared. In its place, endless light descended from the sky, and a fist engraved with primal chaos and countless mysterious runes emerged from the endless light and barreled towards Luo Jiejie. Luo Jiejie hurriedly sent a fist flying, and primal chaos breath emerged. Enveloped by world force, the primal chaos breath formed runes that barreled towards the fist in the sky. Boom! 2 formidable forces containing the law of power erupted. Luo Jiejie spewed out a mouthful of blood, flew back like a broken rag doll, and slammed into the ground, blasting open a large hole. She was seriously injured. Yang Feng, you win today. Rays of 7-colored light emanated from Luo Jiejie's delicate body, turning into rays of 7-colored light and disappearing from where she stood. As a powerhouse in the top 10 on the Infinity list, Luo Jiejie has had countless fortuitous encounters and possesses many precious escaped secret treasures. Even a warlock monarch rank powerhouse would find it very difficult to kill her. Yang Feng's eyes flickered for a while, then whirlpools suddenly appeared on his body, and a swarm of 4th-generation battle robots poured out like a tide and filled the void. The 4th-generation battle robots can't even injure Infinity warlocks, but they can block most Infinity warlocks for a short period of time. For a pinnacle infinity warlock like Yang Feng, so long as he has a short period of time, he can do many things. After Yang Feng released hundreds of thousands of battle robots, he strode to in front of the Empyrean Origin Force crystal, a scorching shade in his eyes, and extended his hand towards the Empyrean Origin Force crystal. In an instant, the Empyrean Origin Force crystal erupted with terrifying power and swept towards Yang Feng as if a star exploded. Even a bright world warlock would find it difficult to resist this terrifying power. Yang Feng smiled faintly and spread his hand. Primal chaos runes churned, and he grabbed the Empyrean Origin Force crystal's explosive force, and black light shone and devoured the explosive force. Infinity warlocks, even in the era of the 8 warlock emperors, were powerhouses who dominated a region. They weren't small fries. They were powerful enough to explore various relic sites. Chapter 844. At the moment when Yang Feng grabbed the Empyrean Origin Force crystal, a vast and fearsome force gushed out of the Empyrean Origin Force crystal and entered his body. If a bright world warlock is hit by this vast and boundless force, then no matter how strong they are, their soul will collapse and their fleshly body will shatter. Yang Feng's eyes flickered with enigmatic light, and he operated the primal chaos imperishable body, and mysterious primal chaos runes suddenly appeared on his body. Primal chaos runes appeared in every cell of his body. Yang Feng's body turned into a bottomless abyss that frantically devoured the primal chaos runes and absorbed the fearsome power contained in the Empyrean Origin Force crystal. With every breath of time, Yang Feng's body grew stronger by a fraction and evolved continuously. Suddenly, from the distance of the ruins, a purple true dragon rose directly and floated in mid-air. The dragon's eyes flashed with a crazy and ferocious light. It opened its bloody mouth, and a terrifying dragon flame that could destroy the heavens and the earth condensed in its mouth. A strange transparent thread emerged on the purple true dragon Yunbo. He stiffened slightly, and then spewed dragon flames capable of destroying everything from his mouth in an instant. The violent dragon flames enveloped him and burned him wildly. "No! Stop! Don't kill me! Stop! I beg you!" A look of horror and despair on his face, Yunbo issued miserable screams and twisted his huge dragon body, yet he couldn't cast a single spell. The screams of horror and despair lasted for a full 20 seconds before Yunbo was burned to ashes by the dragon fire he spewed out, leaving only an infinity core and a storage treasure. The godly-faced demon Eye, who was hiding far away and using his eye ability to observe everything, felt a chill in his heart. What a scary fellow! No wonder Heart Shadow Zhou-Yi, Queen of Reinvention Luo Jiejia, and Black True Dragon Mo Xian are not his opponents. The Empyrean Origin Force crystal is a peerless treasure. Any infinity warlock would desire to obtain such a treasure. Naturally, no one will give it up. It seems that this is the only way. The transcendent eyes gritted his teeth and flipped his hand, and a ruby-like, dreamlike blood, exuding a queer aura, hovering between the real and the illusory, appeared in his hand. Inside the transcendent eyes, a blood red eye suddenly opened and radiated dreamlike light that shone on the blood. The strange blood immediately twisted and turned into a red mist that disappeared into the demonic eye. "Come with me to the dream world." The transcendent eyes came to a tall building and looked at Yang Feng 100 kilometers away from them. The queer eyes twisted and queer dream force swept towards Yang Feng like a tide. The dream world is extremely weird, and its laws are very different from those of the real world. Only Holy Spirit warlocks with a trace of eternal characteristics can resist the erosion of the dream world. Otherwise, even if it is a warlock monarch rank powerhouse, if they don't have a special secret treasure, they will be pulled into the dream world and slaughtered. Bursts of distorted dream force pulled the transcendent eyes into the dream world in an instant. What's this? Where's Yang Feng? As soon as the transcendent eyes entered the dream world, he looked into the distance along with the queer dream force, and he was stunned at once. He saw that in the place where Yang Feng should be, there is a distorted phantom ruler that hovers between the real and the illusory. The phantom ruler suddenly opened a strange eye. The pitch black eye seemed to transform into a terrifying black hole, frantically devouring all dream force. The transcendent eyes trembled slightly, and then was pulled towards the phantom ruler by the devouring force. The transcendent eye's face fell, and he operated a secret method. His body fluttered, and he turned into a 100-meter-long astral dream scorpion with a human face. The stinger on his back suddenly erupted and stabbed towards the phantom ruler. The astral dream scorpion's stinger contains dream poison. Once an intelligent life form is stabbed by the astral dream scorpion's stinger, it will be transformed into a dream life form and sink into the dream world. In a queer state that is neither dead nor alive, they will wander the dream world forever. The astral dream scorpion's stinger has just been stabbed, when it suddenly trembled and flew into the phantom ruler's strange eye. The phantom ruler devoured the stinger and turned it into pure dream force. In the real world, the transcendent eyes lost his soul, his eyes went blank, and he fell to the ground like a walking corpse. Once ordinary humans lose their soul, they will die immediately. Infinity warlocks, on the other hand, have terrifying vitality. Even though their soul is shattered, which is equivalent to death, but their fleshly body can still survive for a long time, just like a vegetable. There's no chance. Curses. Black True Dragon Moxion, who was hiding nearby, gritted his teeth, cast a secret method, and disappeared silently. Nourished by the Empyrean origin force, Yang Feng easily reached the quasi-warlock monarch realm, and then took another step and stepped into the supreme infinity warlock realm. Generally speaking, after human infinity warlocks advance to the quasi-warlock monarch realm, they can attack the warlock monarch realm. However, the infinity warlock realm is the most critical realm before advancing to the warlock emperor realm. Only after reaching the supreme infinity warlock realm can human warlocks have the potential to attack the Holy Spirit warlock and warlock emperor realms. In the supreme infinity warlock realm, the more profound your foundation is, the easier it will be for you to attack the Holy Spirit warlock and warlock emperor realms in the future. When Yang Feng is about to absorb the Empyrean origin force crystal and advance to the warlock monarch realm in one fell swoop, a karma spell suddenly shot out from the Empyrean origin force crystal and stabbed into Yang Feng. As soon as the karma spell entered Yang Feng, his warlock monarch realm bottleneck, which has already loosened, suddenly became more solid. Karma spell. What kind of karma is this? With a thought, Yang Feng operated the fate algorithm, and tributaries of fate appeared in his eyes, reflected on himself, and peered into karma. Settle down all life forms in the Black Emperor realm, look for direct descendants of the Black Emperor's bloodline, and give them this box. After completing these two tasks, I will be able to completely devour the Black Emperor realm's Empyrean origin force and promote to a warlock monarch in one fell swoop. With a thought, Yang Feng flicked his wrist, and a pitch-black box appeared in his hand. Yang Feng raised his eyebrows and sank into his thoughts. Countless data flashed in his eyes as he performed calculations frantically. After countless calculations, Yang Feng finally made a judgment. It seems that it's more cost-effective to complete this karma spell. The power of the karma spell cast by the Black Emperor is extraordinary, but Yang Feng has mastered the peerless secret method fate algorithm, which allows him to sever karma without any restrictions. However, the moment the karma spell is severed, the remaining Empyrean origin force will collapse, and the entire Black Emperor realm will collapse in an instant, making it difficult for Yang Feng to obtain anything. Unless Yang Feng can promote to a warlock emperor, he won't be able to stop the collapse of the Empyrean origin force. Yang Feng beckoned with his hand, and the crystal formed from Empyrean origin force flew into his hand at once. Holding the Empyrean origin force crystal, Yang Feng willed, and as if the embodiment of the Archgod era's warlock emperor Black Emperor, his perception covered the entire Black Emperor realm. Shit! He has mastered the Black Emperor realm. Moxion, who is about to leave, suddenly felt his heart palpitate. Without hesitation, he took out a small black mirror and pointed it at the void. A black passage suddenly took shape leading to the outside of the Black Emperor realm. Moxion's figure fluttered, and he turned into a black ray flying towards the passage. Suddenly, a jade-white hand descended from the sky and pressed down on the black passageway. The black passage collapsed at once, and Moxion was strangely pulled out by a terrifying force. A jade-white finger descended from the sky like a giant pillar, crushing toward Mo Xian with the might of the entire Black Emperor realm. Young Feng, do you really want to fight me to the death? Mo Xian roared, his figure fluttered, and he turned into a 1,000-meter-long black true dragon, and sent a giant claw barreling towards the jade-white finger. Most of Mo Xian's body has already been destroyed by Yang Feng, but as a peerless expert in the top 10 on the infinity list, he consumed several precious treasures to forcibly restore his body. But this hastily restored body is more than twice as strong as his original black true dragon body. Yang Feng had no intention of replying. In the sky, a huge jade-white finger touched the claw of the black true dragon. The 1,000-meter-long black true dragon Mo Xian has transformed into collapsed inch by inch and turned into ashes that drifted about, leaving only an infinity core and a storage treasure behind. Number 6 on the infinity list, Dark True Dragon Mo Xian has died. As if an invincible transcendent, Yang Feng scanned the entire Black Emperor realm. Yet he didn't find Heart Shadow Zhou and Queen of Reinvention Luo Jiejie. An enigmatic ray flashed in Yang Feng's eyes, and he exclaimed in admiration, as expected of a powerhouse in the top 10 on the infinity list, they are very decisive. When they saw that they couldn't get their hands on a treasure, they immediately gave up. Let's return to the core world. If Heart Shadow Zhou and Queen of Reinvention Luo Jiejie didn't leave in time, then after Yang Feng takes control of the Black Emperor realm, he doesn't mind attacking them. Even if he doesn't kill them, he will make them stay. In the Black Emperor realm, Yang Feng's battle prowess is comparable to that of a Warlock Monarch rank powerhouse. But he is still far inferior to a Holy Spirit Warlock. Once a Holy Spirit Warlock on the Holy List takes action, it is entirely possible for them to take the Empyrean Origin Force Crystal from Yang Feng. Chapter 845. The Black Emperor realm has really degenerated. It doesn't even have a Warlock Monarch rank powerhouse. Through the Empyrean Origin Force Crystal, Yang Feng scanned the Black Emperor realm and sensed the breath of Infinity Warlock rank archgods. However, he didn't see a single Warlock Monarch rank breath. He couldn't help but feel a little regretful. With the Empyrean Origin Force Crystal in hand, Yang Feng is the main force of the Black Emperor realm. He can even suppress Warlock Monarch rank archgods. A Warlock Monarch rank archgod, whether killed or taken as a subordinate, is of great value. Yang Feng naturally feels a little regretful that he didn't see any trace of a Warlock Monarch rank archgod in the Black Emperor realm. The current position of the Black Emperor realm isn't safe. Move. With the Empyrean Origin Force Crystal in hand, countless runes appeared in Yang Feng's eyes, as if he has become the embodiment of the Black Emperor realm. The core world, deep in the Black Cloud Mountains, the cliff that carries the Black Emperor realm trembled slightly and collapsed in an instant. A blurry, pitch-black oval existence that looks like it can devour everything trembled slightly, blurred, and disappeared. It seems that he has really taken control of the Black Emperor realm and made it conceal itself. Even if the Holy Spirit Warlocks on the Holy List take action, they won't be able to lock onto his position. On a certain mountain peak in the Black Cloud Mountains, Heart Shadow Zhou looked at the disappearing Black Emperor realm with a complicated look in his eyes, and he sighed. Luo Jiejie's beautiful eyes flashed with an enigmatic light, and she said with a confident smile, I didn't expect that such an outstanding figure could be born in the surface world. He is definitely my greatest enemy when it comes to ascending the Warlock Emperor throne in the future. Heart Shadow Zhou's eyes shimmered with enigmatic light, and he uttered, the Black Emperor's treasure trove fell into his hands, yet you still have the confidence to defeat him in the future? Luo Jiejie's beautiful eyes shimmered with ambition. The Great Tribulation is coming. Another universe is about to overlap with our universe and devour each other. This is the greatest crisis of our universe, but it will also be the greatest opportunity for all life forms in our universe. If there is a victor when two universes devour each other, then the life form standing on the victor's side will have a chance to become eternal sovereigns. With that, Luo Jiejie turned around, turned into a ray of light, and disappeared from where she stood. Zhou sighed. An eternal. How ambitious. My ambition can't even compare to a woman. The Eternals were only seen in legends, and there were traces of eternity left in some ruins, proving that they had existed. In human history, the most powerful beings were the 8 great warlock emperors. The ultimate goal of all human warlocks was to become a warlock emperor, to become unparalleled under the heavens, to suppress the world, and to shake the heavens with their might. As for Eternals, apart from the 8 warlock emperors, none of the other warlocks set them as their goal, because it was too illusory and unrealistic. However, based on these signs, it seemed like many terrifying existences who should have died long ago were showing signs of recovering. Many of these bigwigs aimed to advance further and become warlock emperors. Those who were ambitious and had great foresight set their sights on eternal sovereigns. Joey frowned slightly and said unhurriedly, "It's not only us humans, but also the archgod age, and even more ancient monsters are beginning to recover. Can we compete with them?" The Zhangji Plain is not only the birthplace of human warlocks, but also the center of the universe. It has existed for more than 10 billion years. Following the guidance of the aura, the Five Eyes Crocodile Transcendent landed on a wide square in the Holy Pulse Mountain. He looked around and his heart shook at once. There were more than 400 powerful ancient gods standing on the square. Each of these archgods possesses infinity warlock rank power. If this force appeared in the Zhangji Plain surface world, it would be able to sweep through the 4 dynasties of the Eastern world and the Western world. The 4 dynasties of the Eastern world and the Western world have Empyrean-grade secret treasures to suppress their destiny. However, Empyrean-grade secret treasures are extremely powerful. If infinity warlocks want to stimulate their power, they have to consume their life and pay a terrifying price. Although the 400 archgods are much weaker than human infinity warlocks one-on-one, but they all have queer innate abilities. In a large-scale battle, 100 archgods can crush 30 human infinity warlocks. In a field battle, the 400 infinity warlock rank archgods can sweep through the Great Cloud Dynasty's Warlock Legion. Only a place like the Cloud Capital can withstand the siege of 400 infinity warlock rank archgods. When the Five Eyes Crocodile Transcendent arrived on the square, the surrounding infinity warlock rank archgods revealed a look of fear in their eyes, and they retreated to the side. Supreme Infinity Warlock rank archgods are much stronger than ordinary Infinity Warlock rank archgods. The Five Eyes Crocodile Transcendent is usually a fierce bigwig. Infinity Warlock rank archgods don't dare to get close to him, for fear that he will suddenly attack and kill them. "Dragon, you're here as well." The Five Eyes Crocodile Transcendent's gaze suddenly fell on a 3-meter-tall archgod, who no one dares to approach. The archgod has a fiend head, a dragon horn, a 3-meter-tall body covered in dragon scales, and a fearsome aura. Dragon turned around and revealed an ugly and ferocious smile. "Five Eyes, you're here as well. Of the 3 of us, only Tyrant Monkey isn't here." Five Eyes, Dragon, and Tyrant Monkey are the leaders of the 3 strongest tribes in the Black Emperor realm. The 3 of them are the only 3 Supreme Infinity Warlock rank experts in the Black Emperor realm. Five Eyes frowned and said, "Who exactly summoned us here?" A dignified look in his eyes, Dragon looked towards the void and said solemnly, "He's here." Five Eyes' heart stirred, and he looked towards the sky. He saw a white cloud floating in the sky. On the white cloud there is a person sitting. It is Yang Feng. "What's that? A new archgod?" The archgods looked curiously at Yang Feng in the sky and commented spiritedly. In the Black Emperor's era, the Zhangji Plains humans were still ape-like, which was fundamentally different from modern humans. Furthermore, they were slowly changing. After the first Warlock dynasty's Time Lord dominated the world, the form of human warlocks of that era was fixed, and they looked exactly like modern humans. In the Black Emperor's era, there wasn't even the concept of humans. There was only the concept of archgods and slaves. Yang Feng said flatly, "I am Yang Feng, the new master of the Black Emperor realm. According to the Black Emperor's will, you have 2 choices. The first choice is that I send you out of this world, and then we will have nothing to do with each other. The second choice is that you become my subordinates and work for me, and I will shelter you from the oppression of human warlocks. Before you make your choice, anyone who disobeys my orders will die." Yang Feng extended his hand and entered the void. In an archgod tribe, a huge hand resembling white jade fell from the sky, grabbed a 3-meter-tall, monkey-shaped archgod exuding a violent and domineering aura, crossed the void, and appeared on the square. When Five Eyes saw the monkey-shaped archgod, his complexion changed dramatically, and he cried out, "Tyrant monkey!" Chapter 846. Tyrant Monkey. That's Tyrant Monkey. How did he get captured? Tyrant Monkey is a pinnacle third-step powerhouse who may step into the fourth step at any time. How could he be captured without any resistance? The archgod stared at Tyrant Monkey with a dignified look in their eyes. Tyrant Monkey is from the Tyrant Devil Ape race. When the Tyrant Devil Ape matures, it will possess glorious Dawn Warlock rank battle prowess. An ultimate form Tyrant Devil Ape can become an Infinity Warlock rank existence, while a perfect form Tyrant Devil Ape can become a Warlock Monarch rank existence. In the Black Emperor realm, Tyrant Monkey is one of the top 3 peerless powerhouses. Only Five Eyes and Dragon can match him in strength. Struggling frantically in the Jade White Hand, Tyrant Monkey roared with an unruly expression on his face. "Did you capture me, you bastard? Let me go. After I break free, I'll tear you to pieces. I am the ruler of the Black Emperor realm. From now on, those who refuse to obey me will die." Yang Feng's eyes shimmered with indifference, and he closed the fingers of his hand. The earth-shattering Jade White Hand closed its fingers and squeezed hard. It was as if the terrifying power of the entire Black Emperor realm was acting on Tyrant Monkey's body, trying to crush him into powder. "I, Tyrant Monkey, have spent my life fighting heaven and earth. If heaven wants to kill me, then I'll destroy it. You want to kill me by yourself. Open!" Tyrant Monkey roared furiously. Surrounded by golden light, his body suddenly swelled, and he turned into a 10,000-meter-tall Tyrant Devil Ape God, who looks like an invincible being that can suppress heaven and earth, and forcibly broke the Jade White Hand. Boom! The moment the Jade White Hand was broken, the fearsome divine body of the Tyrant Monkey suddenly exploded. His soul, flesh, and blood collapsed and turned into powder. Then they were collected into a jade box and sealed completely. Every part of a Supreme Infinity Warlock rank archgod is a treasure. As long as Yang Feng extracts the bloodline essence of the Tyrant Monkey and deduces a secret cultivation method of the Tyrant Demonic Ape race, he can establish an Infinity Warlock rank Tyrant Demonic Ape bloodline Warlock family. Dead. Tyrant Monkey was killed just like that. How is this possible? When the more than 400 Infinity Warlock rank archgods saw Tyrant Monkey's broken body and shattered soul, they were struck dumb and filled with shock. They looked at Yang Feng sitting in the clouds with fear in their eyes. Five Eyes quietly opened the eye on his chest and saw through Yang Feng at a glance, his heart filled with shock. He's just a rank 3 powerhouse, how can he be so strong? Casually killing Tyrant Monkey? Tyrant Monkey is a Supreme Infinity Warlock rank existence. His fighting strength is comparable to that of the top 20 human warlocks on the Infinity list. It is very difficult for Warlock Monarch rank powerhouses to suppress him. When Yang Feng casually killed the Tyrant Monkey, fear flashed in the eyes of the archgods present. Yang Feng extended his hand again, and the giant Jade White Hand appeared again, entered the void, and grabbed an Infinity Warlock rank archgod with a centipede head from the Black Emperor realm. Rock Centipede. He is also one of those who did not come. That's a rock centipede. The Infinity Warlock rank archgods looked at the Infinity Warlock rank archgod centipede in Yang Feng's hand, and their hearts trembled. Yang Feng closed his hand, and the giant Jade White Hand closed. Rock Centipede unleashed various special abilities, but could not break free from the giant Jade White Hand. In the end, he was crushed to death, and all his flesh and blood were suppressed and stored in a jade box. In the square, an archgod suddenly roared. "Everyone, let's join forces and kill him. Otherwise, we will all be killed by him. In the Black Emperor realm, those who oppose me will die." Yang Feng glanced at the archgod with a look of ridicule in his eyes. With a flash of faint light, the archgod appeared on Yang Feng's giant Jade White Hand. The giant Jade White Hand closed. No matter how the archgod struggled, He was still crushed into countless pieces of flesh and blood that entered a jade box. These Infinity Warlock rank archgods do not represent all life forms in the Black Emperor realm. If these Infinity Warlock rank archgods resist Yang Feng, he doesn't mind killing them all. An Infinity Warlock rank archgod is covered in treasures. Many archgods are top materials and treasures that human warlocks need to practice secret methods. If all 400 Infinity Warlock rank archgods here die, the wealth formed from their corpses may be exchanged for warlock resources that will allow Yang Feng to take the crucial step and advance to the Warlock Monarch realm. Shock filled Five Eyes' heart, and cold sweat trickled down his back. How can he be so strong? Not even a fourth-step powerhouse can be as strong as him. In the Black Emperor realm, Warlock Monarch rank archgods have been born in the past. But those Warlock Monarch rank archgods do not have Yang Feng's incredible heaven-defying strength. That is because Yang Feng has the Empyrean Origin Force Crystal, which is equivalent to obtaining the power of the entire Black Emperor realm. Crushed by the power of the Black Emperor realm, these Infinity Warlock rank archgods are not his opponents. The eyes of a 10-meter-tall three-eyed archgod shimmered with an unruly gleam, and he barked, "Who do you think you are? Everyone, let's kill him. Die. Go to hell." Among the 400-plus Infinity Warlock archgods, the eyes of 34 irascible and unruly archgods flickered fiercely, and they unleashed their innate abilities barreling towards Yang Feng. Fire, ice, bone spurs, petrification, curses, and other extremely powerful innate abilities barreled towards Yang Feng from all directions like a tide. Even if it is a supreme Infinity Warlock rank powerhouse, if they don't have a protective secret treasure, they will be blasted to pieces by the joint attack of the 34 Infinity Warlocks. Yang Feng smiled faintly and instantly severed the lock on his soul by the 34 archgods. When the 34 innate spells slammed into Yang Feng, they blasted him into pieces. With a flash of light, spatial ripples enveloped the 34 ancient gods. In an instant, the 34 archgods disappeared and were teleported to different corners of the Black Emperor realm. On the white cloud where Yang Feng was originally sitting, light flashed and quickly formed Yang Feng's figure. A jade-white hand traversed the void and grabbed randomly. An ancient god who had launched an attack was pulled out from the void. With a casual squeeze, he was crushed into minced meat and suppressed and sealed in a jade box. Sitting on the white cloud, Yang Feng looked at the Black Emperor realm's archgods with an enigmatic smile on his face. One by one he grabbed the archgods that launched an attack, crushed them, and threw them into a jade box. In the Black Emperor realm, except for Holy Spirit warlocks, even Warlock Monarch rank powerhouses can teleport to any place in the Black Emperor realm with a thought, if they don't have special secret methods or secret treasures to protect themselves. This is the terror of the Black Emperor realm's realm lord. When the other archgods saw the rebellious archgods being crushed by Yang Feng one by one, their scalp turned numb, and a chill filled their hearts. This method is simply unstoppable. Five Eyes smiled bitterly and looked at his old rival dragon. He saw that his old rival dragon was also looking at him, and there was a flash of helplessness in their eyes. Yang Feng's method of dividing archgods is simply heaven-defying. Even Warlock Monarch rank archgods don't have such heaven-defying methods. In front of this method, unless someone can defeat Yang Feng head-on, they are just ants that Yang Feng can crush at will. Okay, now tell me, do you choose to leave here? Or do you choose to stay, submit to me, and serve me? Yang Feng quietly crushed the 60-plus Infinity Warlock rank archgods that rebelled and didn't come here one by one, and then looked at the hundreds of archgods below with an indifferent gaze. The Flame Law Tribe's High Priest Shang Qingpu knelt on the ground and shouted, "I am willing to submit. I am willing to submit." The 300-plus Infinity Warlock rank archgods hesitated for a while, then knelt on the ground and uttered loudly, "Archgods are respected by the strong." When Warlock Monarch rank archgods passed by, no archgods resisted them. After Yang Feng displayed irresistible power, these archgods chose to submit. These archgods are the leaders of the major forces in the Black Emperor realm. When they chose to submit to Yang Feng, the entire Black Emperor realm fell into Yang Feng's hands. The Black Emperor realm is a complete world formed from the Black Emperor, who once dominated the world and even had several Warlock Emperor rank archgods as his subordinates. even though the Black Emperor has died countless years ago. But there are still countless treasures of heaven and earth in the Black Emperor realm. After the archgods of the Black Emperor realm were subdued by Yang Feng, most of the most precious treasures they accumulated fell into Yang Feng's hands. The bones of 13 warlock monarch rank archgods. Unfortunately, they ate their flesh and blood. The Black Emperor realm, in an exquisite and luxurious palace, Yang Feng looked at the bones of the 13 warlock monarch rank archgods with regret in his eyes. In the Black Emperor realm, more than 100 warlock monarch rank archgods have been born. However, when most warlock monarch rank archgods died, their flesh and blood were devoured and turned into resources for other archgods to evolve. The remaining skeletons could not withstand the erosion of time. All of their extraordinary powers would disappear, forming all sorts of strange phenomena in the Black Emperor's realm. In the Black Emperor realm, extraordinary plants and strange phenomena can be seen everywhere. It is very difficult for existences below the Starry Sky Warlock rank to survive in the Black Emperor realm. Similarly, all adult archgods in the Black Emperor realm are Moonlight Warlock rank existences and above, and the strange phenomena have no effect on them. The 13 Warlock Monarch rank archgod bones are the only 13 Warlock Monarch rank archgod bones left in the Black Emperor realm. You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.